So now we get back into sync of things. You don't have to be stressed. Oh, people are going to judge me because I, didn't do this, I didn't do that. And it's okay. It's all right. We have to stop thinking about how other people see us. How do you want to show up? Well, I wanted to show up a certain way. I could totally have just gone with a different view, but you really don't need to see this whole massive corner that I need to clean. And yes, we're all messy, we're all clean, we're all everything. We get to choose. Anyway, how do you show up? I recorded something in the past where, oh my God, if I didn't show up, I learned from my parents, I learned from society, I learned how to be a human. And that became the program of how I am today. But I'm in charge now. Did I need to be stressed? Nah. Oh, okay. Didn't come in alignment. It's out of alignment. I can stop, put it back into alignment. I'm that good. If I can't, I turn to say, Spirit, help me figure it out. And usually I will find something on Google or another person will show up. But the question is, how do you approach it in the moment before you have to figure it all out? Okay. And that's how you're going to make a decision. So for me, it was, that didn't work. Well, I didn't have to go into, oh my God. How many times have you done that? How many times you're going, oh my God, I'm just terrible. What are they going to think about it? That's stress. That tells me I'm not even in my full capacity of who I am. I'm just a reaction. I'm just a program. And the thing, how I wanted to start today was, I heard boom, boom. I'm lightning before the thunder. Now, I can't sing it because Facebook has been, deleting some of my shows because, oops, I said a word that sounds like a song. And as long as I don't say it rhythmically, I should be fine. When I hear that, boom, boom, I am lightning before the thunder. Yes, it's a song, but Spirit is telling me, let's tell a story. So have you ever been in the total dark and you skid your feet across the floor and you see the static electricity, or you pull a blanket off and you see these sparks in the static electricity? Just kind of imagine that in your brain when you have a thought. Ooh, is that a good idea? Oh, is that a sneaky idea? So each one has an emotion with your thoughts. Now, if you follow the thoughts, you begin to create those 41 thoughts per minute to be not just one out of the 41, but maybe 5 out of the 41. The biggest joke is that when people think about sex or it's on their mind, it's usually almost 38 thoughts per minute. It's like, sex. Oh, I'm here in the conversation. Sex. So who's in charge of the thinking? Who's in charge of the thinking? You are. But here's the thing. Who are you? That becomes like the ultimate question. And what I do as a teacher is I break it down as much as I can so that you can understand that you are not the sum total of your issues. You will see your inner world by looking at the outer world. You will see how you respond. You see how they respond. The more you use awareness, which is what you have, is your biggest key to life, of how you know, but you have the ability to change it. Your innate wisdom has the ability to change it. A lot of times we do not believe we have that ability. So let's look a little bit further. So when you say consciousness with an NESS, I'm referring to the thing that created this reality, the thing that helped my innate intelligence, the thing that helps me think. Consciousness was all there was. And it's a foundation, it's a matrix. And that matrix, as soon as you start to think, you start creating a matrix you live in. So back in the 1927, there was all these beautiful people that were scientists. Now, you have religion and science that help sculpt the philosophies and everything of the world. The only problem is they're at war. They have been at war for the longest time. And just recently, we're able to bridge not religion, but spirituality, that part of who we really are that we've cut out. And we just kind of looked to religion to tell us how to live. We looked to science to tell us what are we? Who are we? But as we start to open into our heart, and we keep creating that coherence, we're starting to realize that we matter. It's not that we're matter and we're solid, because we're really not to some degree, but we matter. So back in 1927, you got a bunch of, theoretical scientists come in, and they ended up taking and started to understand quantum physics. Okay? And it's the most valid science today. So you had Einstein, Max Planck, you had Heisenberg, and they came up with all these theories of how everything worked, and it worked well. And, this is over what? This is 100 years ago or so or more, I think, or a little less, somewhere in there. And guess what? Almost all of their theories were totally accurate. So we have a deep, deep understanding of quantum physics. So it's that act of being able to observe that causes the ability to understand more. So the question is, well, what is she talking about? Do you know how to be aware? Can you put your eyes and become aware of your heart? Can you get out of your head and come into your heart? So you're learning how to become space and time, through which you are not just the mind or the brain, but you are the heart. So you can start feeling, you can start being. So consciousness is created out of life experiences, the principle number one. And Max Planck, is the founder of that. That he said that the mind is the matrix of all matter. And that's, where the movie The Matrix came from. Now, the one thing that consciousness has, and that's all there was the ability to be aware. And the more that it became aware and observed what it saw, the more it could create. Okay? So what does all that mean? When you look back a little bit further, Max Planck said, what does he say about consciousness? And I regard consciousness as a fundamental. I regard matter as the derivative from consciousness. Matter. Wait a minute. We're matter, right? Well, if you look at matter is only, what do you want to call it? 0.0001% matter. Okay, it's energy that's slowed down. So normally it's 9.99% empty space. I'm sure there's a few more nines there. But we're vibration, we're energy, we're information. And this is kind of like helps you understand when you start working in the metaphysical world with energies and Reiki and reconnection and all of this. They kept separating, everybody kept separating that life force. Well, yeah, I guess you have to have life force, because if you're dead, you don't have life force. Well, nobody realized that you're whole. And when you start separating them, it just makes more chaos. So what I've learned is that my journey of understanding how do we create our reality and how to help cope and handle and deal. No, I want you to resolve. I want you to evolve. And that's where it came to. Because, like, for instance, Max Planck worked with thermodynamics, and which led to the formulation of quantum theory. He explained the colors of hot glowing matter. He proposed that energy is radiated in every minute in minute, discrete quantum amounts of packets. So quantum means energy, rather than a continuous unbroken wave. So it's something that's important to understand. And I just want you to grasp the idea that you are not just matter. This is the vehicle, the body's consciousness carries you around. But it's you and your thoughts and how you see your programs that you can heal out. You have to understand that you have the power of choice, which we didn't know we had. We've been passing it through generations that we don't. And what I've discovered is that when you start to work with the innate intelligence to help you heal, then this is why success hope therapy was born. Safety, security, stability, sanity, serenity, and space. Space is the freedom. And when you lack any of those, then you get the stories of your life. And the energies that run the stories, you can label them as meridians. This is where I operate. But then if you take those, they can become elements. And then if you take those, okay, so let's get back to here. How do you know your life? And how do you know you don't like it? I thought I hated Brussels sprouts. And lo and behold, my husband says, "Hey, honey, you buy some Brussels sprouts next time you're out so that I can have them?" I said, "Sure." Now, he doesn't force me anything, you know. I asked him what would he like that he hasn't had. And so I got Brussels sprouts, baked those up. I had it in my head. I hated them. And I said, wait a minute, where did that thought come from? And how did I know to hate them? Did I try them as a kid? I had no memories of trying it as a kid. I remember commercials, I seen TV. So I borrowed these thoughts. And so I reached down, threw them in my mouth. Oh my God, that was yummy. The way that it mushed together, the way that they had the taste. Well, I like Brussels sprouts. That reminds me of the commercial. Oh, give it to Mikey. Mikey likes anything. Like cereal. Mm-hmm. Okay, I haven't had that in years either. So why do I tell you this? Is because where do some of your programs come from? Now, I'm going to back this up a little bit deeper, and it has to do with the elements. Wasn't that witchcraft? No, just get out of what somebody told you. Go investigate. So when I started to look further back into history and got past all my fears and how I'm going to be judged by the church, or I'm going to be judged by my friends, or I'm going to, no, heal that out. You can go in discernment and you can begin to discover history. I mean, one of the things through history is that keep them stupid so we can be in charge. Keep the peasants dumb. Let all of the scholars be those that can be in charge of all those that can't read. We're not here to be slaves. We're not here to be prisoners. We become prisoners of our emotions and our thoughts and our beliefs. And we become prisoners of what we think other people think. And we become slaves to where we think we have no rights. But these are all emotional journeys. These are all stories that are lives that you can evolve from. Okay, so I hope you dig in to find all of that out. I have this wonderful friend. I love her to bits. And one day I'm sitting with her and she's telling me the story. And, I don't have the same experience. Okay, so we have all of these connections or all these dots, connecting the dots. But when you connect it, it's how do you interpret it? So she's telling me her life experience about what just happened. And I'm doing my best to understand it, keep an open mind without judgment. And because I haven't had the experience, I can't really give her an answer. And so that really kept it open that, okay, I'm going to experience this without realizing as I stepped into her field. So that means she was sitting at the table and she wanted to show me something on the computer. So I stepped in to look at what she was talking about. I said, oh my God, I went right into her field. And her reality, her world, my reality and my world, I ended up being in her world. I got to see, feel, hear, experience, use my sensory system like hers. And I saw this ghost in the mirror. I saw the colors were different in her world. We think we see what blue looks like. Try looking on TikTok and YouTube, and every blue is supposed to be the same blue. No, but when you get the realization that everybody sees the same blue, and it's the same thing with respecting people's world. This is why you're going to see me always teaching and respect. And I was like, whoa, I jumped out of this as fast as I could. And I said, holy crap. I had to shake it off. My body was shocked. My body was like, oh my God, that was fear. I entered fear. And it was water. And she's more of a water element. And it's overcoming fear so that you can understand with the wisdom of water. And I'm like, oh my God. And so it took me a while. And I'm using my tools. And I get my brain back into a clarity to get back hooked up to my heart and up to my spirit. I said, what in the hell? She says, that's what I see all the time. I said, you have to look at what element you are, what emotions, what stories, and don't just believe them, but you need to transcend them. That's why you're here. I said, stop putting your life force into it. And this was what happens when you're close to people, around people, and you get sucked into their reality. You kind of don't know what yours is. You kind of need to. You need to kind of learn that. All right. So, what's important here is that you don't have to believe everything you feel. You don't have to believe everything you think or tell yourself. You don't have to be hurt by what people say. You are actually looking at energy. You're looking at frequencies. And if your lesson is in one of those frequencies, then what happens is that you are just in a lesson. And if you don't know how to get yourself out, it can feel like hell on earth instead of understanding that you're here to create a heaven on earth. Heaven and hell are not separated. They're states of mind. Just so you understand. But how do you connect with them? First of all, most people do not understand that they have two faces. There's the spiritual talk and the ego talk. And when people don't understand that, they don't know how they know. They just know how to fight. They know there's an enemy. They know there's a threat. And these are different characteristics of how we function as a human. My job is that I wanted to become just a spiritual human. That's all I heard Spirit tell me, was to become my authentic self. And when you become your authentic self, there is no enemy. I could create one. I could believe in one. I could follow the fear. I've already been doing all that. And any stuff now that I understand right now, I only use maybe 1% of my brain to actually create life. And 95% of my life, I'm actually just a program from the day before and the day before that and the day before that and everything I grew up. Because from 0 to 7, I am programmed by my environment that I chose as a soul to go, I needed to experience this, but you don't have to be locked in it forever. You don't have to be locked into it forever. There's freedom here, not so that you can fight to the top and that you're going back and forth on the teeter-totter. No. When you start working with your innate wisdom that's inside your body and you learn how to tap into that and you learn to release the emotional chemical peptides, which is the key that goes inside your cell and starts you up and drive you around. Just imagine. Stephen Wright is a comedian that back in the 80s, I think it was, or 90s. And I'm like, oh my God, his biggest joke made me laugh so hard, or it was a joke, but it was big to me. He says, yeah, I came home. I stuck my car key in my house. I turned it, started up. I heard it. So I thought I'd drive it around the block. The idea of your car key starting your house and driving around the block. But just think about who starts you up, who's home, and who's driving you. Now, those emotional chemical peptides, they're literally like keys in a cell because you have receptor cell. This is a cell and you have receptors. And so an emotion and the chemical, the protein, and all of a sudden all these keys will come out. Nope, they don't fit. And all of a sudden there'll be a match. And the key will come in and it'll match and it'll lock itself in. I don't know if you can see it very well. And it can lock itself in. And what does it do? It starts up the cell. And then it starts vibrating those emotions. What is so cool about that is that the more you, oh, hey, Crystal Allen, wonderful. Thank you for the stars. And we'll do a drawing in a minute so you can be putting your name in a drawing. Is that when you can take the key out anytime. You don't think you can, but you can. Cells are such a cool thing to learn. Remember, if you send 100 stars, you get your name in the drawing. So if you want to send 50 more rows, then you get your name in a drawing. And a chance to come in and chat with me to help you heal, grow, breathing, whatever you want. But you get to change that to what you think. Now, your brain's going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But if you were to take and calm and get synchronicity of the brain, synchronicity of the body, and you start getting wisdom from certain things, you will start to even out your life. You will start to feel more than what you think. And when we have some really deep ones, it has a lot to do with the way we talk. Ah, man. But if we don't begin to see with awareness of how we're choosing to be human, how we're choosing to respond, how we're choosing any of those things, we won't know that we are not even in charge. We're just like, yeah, I'm a product of this, I'm a substance. No, you forgot your ability as a spiritual being to choose. And when you start working with this physical body in tapping into the innate wisdom, how do you do that? How do you do that? Take one hand. See the palm? See the forehead? Match, drop your hands. You're touching this point, the hairline, and these OMG points. And what happens is now you're an electromagnetic being that's interfacing with electromagnetic energy in the blood and in the energy of the fields. And you are then balancing out and you're communicating with the meridians and the neurovascular and the lymphatics, neurolymphatics, and you're what are you doing? You're tapping into the innate wisdom. And you are causing yourself to bring the blood back up to your brain because 80% of the blood leaves your brain when you go stressed. And what does the frontal lobe have anything to do with the healing? Well, it has to do with the fact is that frontal lobe is what helps you create reality. It's what helps execute your decision making. But if you're in constant stress, you're not going to be able to think your way out of a paper bag. But if you knew how to do the steps, and do it, just giving yourself a little bit of 2 to 5 minutes and focusing. So you have intention. You measure what's going to happen. It'll look like a miracle, but what you're doing is you're actually interfacing with the body's consciousness. You're choosing, what to look at. And then your body says, let's just resolve that chemical peptide out. So then what happens is that you're over here going, I'm angry. And all of a sudden you're putting your hand on your head and all of a sudden this calms down and all of a sudden it's done. The key comes out. And when the key comes out, then the cell can go back to being in harmony. So if you want to think gratitude, what does that do? The gratitude, all of a sudden here comes the key. This cell goes, hooks up to it. And all of a sudden, this starts producing 500 and above, somewhere in there. I can't remember the number. But what it does is it gives you this love. It operates and starts balancing. And your body starts living in a love state. Gratitude is it happened before. Thank you is I'm thanking spirit before it happens because I know it can happen and I'm there going to believe it's going to happen. And thank you, spirit. And so you start creating, you believe. And then not an ego where I'm going to win that lottery and I'm going to believe it so hard that and it failed and your hopes are done. No. You're going to learn how to be your spiritual self, live in expectancy. And you can learn even far greater because when you start to really open up that right brain and turn on the enlightenment, when you go even further than that, you allow yourself, and I can't remember her name right now, but she got connected into that field and she communicated with that field back and forth reciprocity, which then she won everything contest that she put her energy into. And she did it with her spiritual set. Now you can look at a Silva method. You can, it's got a lot of validity. There's lots and lots of wonderful healers and teachers out there. But when you start healing and you start hearing people bitching and moaning, I stay away from those people because I know they really haven't, yes, I'm going to be human. Yes, I'm going to have these moments, but yes, I'm going to teach you how to transform that. Me and my husband have a great relationship because we say, stop, we're out of sync. We're using awareness and we know we're going to go heal it. We're not going to come, full both barrels blowing and blazing or whatever the word is and shooting off just so we can be right. You got to hear me and I'm going to bulldoze you over. No, that's just ego. You go heal out that pain. And when you do, and when you heal that, you start getting clarity. And then all of a sudden you rise into this frequency that there's a third option way better than you could have ever imagined. and things get solved. But if you're trying to control the outside because you can't control in here, you're going to wait for a bitch slap to come correct you. So you choose how you want to be in this world. But you don't have to be lost. You really don't. If you can just do one thing every day, putting this on your head, as soon as you catch your 41 thoughts being about misery, you've dropped your energy and you're believing it. And if you were to intention, I'm going to write it down. It's a 10. 10's the worst. And you just sit there and focus on how you know. Let the body do the work. And all of a sudden, clarity comes. And the thoughts go, the sentence change, the emotions change. And you're becoming in charge of your world. And I don't care how much maybe Pammy screaming they do. The outside that was like this, you're starting to put a shield up. A healthy one. And you're looking at them going, oh my God, they're a program. Oh my God. Now, you don't have to get lost into it. A lot of people who have empathy and they don't have their shields up and they think, but they understand what other people think. And then you go over sympathetic and then you're going the wrong way. You can understand them because you have certain experiences you've had. But you don't have to go overboard in having to save them because now you're creating undue karma the other way. Okay? Anyways, I think I've talked enough. Tell me what you heard. Tell me what you think. This is all about paraphrasing. What did you hear? Because if you want to grow and learn and how to become a happier person, it's time to, did I hear all the gems? This is what stood out for me. When you start listening with your spirit, you're going to be able to help yourself grow in a way that you never thought you could. And you stick with me, and you stick with healing, you stick with choosing to wanting a better life instead of being afraid of it. You're going to thank yourself instead of tank yourself. In 5 years, you're going to go, oh my God, I look back that I'm not even that person anymore. Or you didn't do any healing and you choose not to. And 5 years from now, you're, oh my God, I hate the fact I hate my life. I should have started 5 years ago. It's either thank or tank. You choose. Start investing in who you are. Start taking care of yourself. Taking care of self is not self-serving. Taking care of self is learning how to listen with your spirit and learning how to evolve so that you can help be in peace, spread the energy, and help others. So you're creating a different matrix. You're creating a love matrix. You're creating a space that doesn't mean you have to fight. You start weaving in and out and creating a timeline you actually want. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. Exactly. Okay, so I look to the room. Jason, good. You helped me grow by listening. Yay! Wonderful, Jason. If I ever read you before, if not, I'll give you a 2-minute reading. And so bear with me as we grow. Look at all the people that want to be in the drawing. This is excellent. Hello, hello, hello. Look at all of you. And remember, the more we get into healing ourselves, the more people are going to start healing themselves because your inner world is going to create this outer world. As you begin to do this even further and faster, then this movement of how the world's going to find inner peace, you just wait. Because the more people that I keep working on, you keep healing me. And I keep helping you. And as you heal yourself, then all of a sudden we start creating this chain of event that we begin to hold the space longer with love and peace. And you will change even out so far. Because if you're bitching, you're saying that you don't want nothing to change. If you hate what's going on, take the hate out and start saying, thank you, Spirit, for showing me the third option. And you'll start changing your timeline. And you'll start seeing the outer world change with you. It'll look like a Mandela effect sometimes. I can tell when I'm like really shifted. So every given second when my emotions are, I'm always choosing a timeline. Oh, here. But to switch a timeline with a different form of reality, that's a whole nother story. Shut up, Brenda. They don't need to hear that story yet. Okay. So we have a few people that have joined. If you would like to, we'll go and then we'll go to a point. I think till noon. I have a client. I have somebody that won a 15-minute reading with me, and I would like to know if April is ready. And if she is, then we can go get a link. And being in a healing space with you is the safest space because you don't judge. Exactly. Why should you? I had people come up to me when I was younger, and they would tell me things because they made a choice for themselves. What the rest of the world would say, that's evil, bad, and wrong. And I look at them, I'm like, did that make you happy? Did you want to explore this? Yes. And I said, do you have to be ashamed of it? No. Then why aren't you allowing yourself to be in this moment, in this experience? So what we have here, let's see here. I'm just reading something. Well, somebody said something that they have a bad habit of doing something, and that's really, really not a good thing, and that's a judgment thing. Well, here's the thing. Where is your belief system? The world is kind of telling you in a way, you shouldn't kill people. You shouldn't harm children. But if you have a tendency to believe these thoughts, that you feel that you have to understand this and be this, do you understand you can change it if you want to change it? You are separating yourself so far from spirit, you are connecting to that earthly plane, that astral plane that causes you to be in a space where great damage can be harmed to the world and to yourself. And all it is that you weren't able to love yourself. There is people that believe that they are being attacked constantly by ghosts and evil. But if you go in and heal those emotional chemical peptides that draw you in, you do not end up having to have that world. Some are going to be more chronic than others. But you got to decide what your GPS end goal is. Heal it out. If you don't like that personality, you can't have a new reality. I'm sorry. I don't care how many times you think, well, I'm going to create a new reality. But if you have a personality that you don't like and you realize, that's not really correct or it's not that it's wrong. You came in and chose this, but you have to remember why you have to love yourself. You forgot how to love yourself. So you'll do certain acts out in the world. And these certain acts that you do will determine, how you're going to see it, how you're going to judge it, how you're going to take care of it, how. Again, it's up to you. And if all you know is judgment, anger, evil, fear, then that's the only thing, the stream you're going to choose from. So you have to heal and detach from it. You have to change these personalities. There she is. So if you're ready, I'll send the link in a minute. So you've got to decide what part of your personality that you would like to grow from, because you got to get the wisdom out of it. Everybody needs to grow and evolve their personality. And you don't have to. So when you go like, oh my God, I can't do this, your soul's asking you, can you heal that? You need a new personality to create a new reality. So if you're sitting there trying to heal yourself because you know what you did was wrong, but you can't stop yourself, that's a form of addiction. The addiction is not the issue. It is the thing you're hiding from is the issue. And that usually will be based on the emotions and the beliefs and the traumas that we can't process because our brain goes, ah! If you began to process that, and even if you can't get close to it, we can help you find that, because there's a certain emotions that get there. So it's not like there's no hope for some people, because there really is. There really is. Okay, there really is hope. And so regardless of how much you think how bad you are, or you're saying it to the world because you want to see how shocked they are, you can create a heaven on earth. And it isn't about doing that bad thing. It's about getting past just being human stuck in the fear string. Now, I had to address that because somebody asked me a question, but I wasn't going to say out loud what they said. I want them to understand if they're really serious about changing it, there is hope. You just have to work your ass off for it because it's more of a chronic thing. But there is hope. So I'm going to get my link and then go over to my friend April and get her to, where's my thing? Oh, I changed it. Silly me. All right. And I'm going to remember, how do you want to give back? How do we want to do this? You can, if you want to give back, and you can give, if it's long, if it's over 100 or under 100, then, and you can even put gift. You can say whatever. But if it's 100, we'll put your name in the drawing. So you can constantly always give gifts. You don't have to just say, oh. So if you hear some gem and it really some truth, send some stars, send some stuff that you really want because you feel happy about it. Okay, I got the right person. It's up to you. Give back. I've spent years of studying, and this is the, energy of giving back, because Spirit says I'm giving too much. And so I got to figure out how to receive. And all right, so I'll put it out there. So I really appreciate your comments. No, either people are listening and they can't get to the screen. Again, what was your takeaway? Because most of you, I know where you live. So if you're new, I'd like to know where you come from too. See, and I'm not, I read energy and this and that, but I believe people need to know the readings and healings, but I'm not your average reader. I will never be. I will not put myself in that box just so I can have friends or clients or no. I want you to know that you can be more. I want to empower you. I want you to heal yourself. I want you to have the ability that you didn't have before. And I want you to start with changing it here. So when other people see you, they're like, well, what'd you do differently that I could have? And you're like, oh, okay. And then you're going to move from student to teacher and student so that you can start seeing and evolving. It's a beautiful thing. So, but if you think you got all the answers, give Spirit 5 minutes, it's going to give you a doozy. If you want to learn that way. So I'm constantly a teacher and a student teacher, and I'm moving into more of a leader teacher student. And it's like, okay, so what's a Leo to do? All right. And I think I have a courier here. So somebody sent me a package. I think that's what's coming, because it can't be what I ordered. I just barely ordered that. So there's no way it even get shipped out of the place. I'll know which house it's going to in just a moment. So April, I did send you the link just in case you did not know I did. And she has not seen it. So I will send it to another room. So she might be looking and waiting for, hey, my thing froze. Am I still live? Nobody seems to be complaining. Well, on Facebook, it should be working, but it's completely froze. I just refreshed it and seeing what happens. Whoa, I can't tell you're live. Okay. That's bizarre. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to worry about it. But I'm going to say hello. Yes, I'm going to say hello. And she's going to get here in just a moment. So she won. How did she win? I can't remember which one it is. For 15 minutes, the chances are it had to do with sharing or something, because that's usually the highest thing. Hi, darling. Let's see if we got volume.
Yes.
Oh, yay! Okay, so you got 15 minutes and you shared and you gave back, and this is your reward. So how can I help you?
Yes, basically I want to, whatever Spirit wants to tell me. One thing that I am noticing that, and this has been going on for a little while, but my body is overstressed. my adrenal glands are overworked, and I'll be okay for a little bit, but then I'll be sitting and all of a sudden I'm like, I can hear the next door neighbor mowing the grass. I can hear the kids down the street screaming. The TV's going on. My husband's got a video on his tablet. And then it's like I can hear the refrigerator running. So it's like I hear like 40 different things going on at one time. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I want it to be quiet.
Okay.
And then yeah, I went to the chiropractor, and he's doing the muscle testing and telling me like the stuff that I need. And then a few times, like my muscles are weak and they're not retaining their energy. And then he's just like, basically, your body's stressed out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't feel that stressed out, but my body is like way stressed out. And
right.
It's
kind of like mine. So I know exactly what you're talking about. So the more that you're working and you are mentally and emotionally feeling better, and you're like, but this, what does it mean? I mean, my God. And the body's consciousness. It's all by itself. But it's a program, and it runs based on old programs. So we have the 4 ingredients to life: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And even though we hear a physical thing, this is your body can't get screwed up until it's a spiritual thing. So I'm looking, and spiritually, they're saying to me that you're stuck on an auto response, which would make sense because you're like, what? But because she's so used to it, she doesn't hear it. She doesn't think it. But as she uses her awareness, she's like, holy shit. Because the body's yelling and screaming, this is your program. And she goes, now I want to be in charge. I want to be in charge. Now, what I'm looking at is that, understand, we have vibration or frequency that's on the inside. Okay. And then you have on the outside, the external, it's an oscillation. But the energy between the communication tool between you and the outside is what I refer to as scalar. Now, the communication aspect is that it says deeply conditioned. And I said, okay, let's look for this condition. And they said that the spiritual thing is it all started around 3 years old. And this is a course where you're going to be looking at your family and downloading how to be human. And they said, yes, you downloaded the frequency that you're supposed to be shamed. So shame was part of growing up. Shame this, shame that. And I see an ego aspect that's about, I know it all. And because you know it all, then you have to be right regardless if you're wrong. Okay? So you've learned this. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Now, you have, throughout time, has caused yourself to be passive. And so that means sometimes you were taking the abuse from people that you didn't need to. Now you're learning to rise and be love, and because you don't want to treat people like shit like they do. You're like, yeah, no, that's an option that no. And that's good. But this right thing. So they said, go back to when you're like 7. So I remember you telling me a story about how all of a sudden you look at how your mom did things and you go, that's not right. Do you remember that? Okay. Notice that
there's several times.
Yes. Those are part of your spiritual issues. It's not that she's doing this now as an adult, but her body is saying, we still are. You may not be, but we still are. And so she knows. Oh my God, there's several. So you can go and look at how you remember your past by those things that spirit brings up. So you're going to take a journal and you're going to write down, okay, it couldn't have been just your mom. I'm sure there was other people you wanted to do that too. And so kind of get an awareness going. So she's going to get into her spiritual mindset, means she's not going to judge. She's going to go, shit. But she has to measure the feeling because that's the program. And then she's going to like kind of shortly write down what it was. It's the feeling. So she's going to really get in there. And the more that she does this, the more she's going to realize that crap, I'm just this sensation and I can heal out that sensation. And they said, when you start to do that, you're going to heal out being wiped out. Because you're like, but how does wiped out have anything to do with why she's, looking at people and no, this is the right way of doing it. And that's shame. And that's because if you understand when you run with no water, no food, you're going to be wiped out. Okay. In the body's aspect, on a physical aspect, her spleen says, I just don't have peace. Yes, I said her spleen. Her spleen says, I don't have peace. So she could have been in a household where stress was coming from everybody. Everybody pointing fingers, everybody saying what they're supposed to do. Again, she's watching her program. I'm only repeating what I learned. Okay. So she's learning how to not cope, handle, and deal. So if somebody couldn't cope, handle, and deal, that's going to be her identity. Now, again, she's engaging and every day she's like, I'm healing, I'm growing. And she's starting to notice she's doing it on the mental and emotional level. So she's getting a handle and a grip on how to be a human. Now we're just looking at programs that she doesn't remember. And now but she does know, because her soul is saying, hey, listen to how spirit talks there. Let's listen to how ego talks there. So they said, well, you felt wiped out. You got tired. And see, when I first started off, as you were talking, I said, spirit said lack of power was the main title of your spiritual issues. You lack power. So let's look at that. I'm all wiped out. I'm tired because my mom won't listen to me. I don't have the power to get her to understand. So now we take the kaleidoscope of life and we move it, and there's another perspective now. It doesn't look the same. So now she's got two sensations that are sitting there and wiping her out. And again, it's the emotions. It's how you believe. And I said, is there any more for that? And I go, yes, this was a deep obsession. Oh my God. Because she explained to you about her nerves would go and go, oh my God, I can hear when an ant farts. Oh my God, it's so sensitive. And I'm not talking about a human ant, I'm talking about an ant that's walking around. So the thing is that would be thunder to the cat, to the ant. Sorry, stop. Don't give me jokes. But they're saying that obsession. So now she needs to pay attention. How often does she not realize she thinks? Now, these are all these little voices that go on in her head. Now, she's overcoming. She's going to block, suppress, ignore. Hey, I don't need that thought. But in order for her to be a healer, she needs to go in with her spirit and go, they're not going to control me. Thank you, Spirit, for showing me how to look at them without losing myself. But in the meantime, these thoughts are going on and they're wiping her ass out. Oh my God, I can feel it. Okay. So like she'll go to work and her body will pick up these 50 trillion cells. The community of her body are all going, listening. Oh, how do I have to behave? How was we? She will bring to her, and this is what's called the attraction factor, people into her space that is a signature of what she knew as a kid. So that means if she's not getting it from a whisper, the bitch little slaps are going to come in and she's going to know it, because she's going to start grinding her teeth or getting angry and like, but that's not me. Now, two things can happen here. One, it's old program. Two, she wants to learn a new program. So she will lose who she is because she knows the experience so much, she will become that person. Okay, so other people's energies will be in this field. This is how we have that scalar energy of communicating, okay? But if she begins to go, hold on, that's not me, and realizes it's not her, and doesn't over-identify and let her nerves take over, this is where she can use her healing tool to cause the body, hold on. And so she's wanting to learn how to create more separation. So, but for her, she has a truth about OMG. Are you that stupid? OMG. So have you been saying or thinking in your mind when you, I know the experience, but I need you to notice the reaction thoughts to the environment that you're picking up. You understand?
Yes, I've been doing it, but then I think I've been getting hyper focused on healing. Like every thought that comes to my head, nope, cancel that. Nope, cancel that. Cancel. Wait. Nope, stop. Okay, who am I? Say my name. And then okay, stop.
Okay.
Stop thinking. Stop. And then I'm overcoming and overthinking. And then I'm like, wait, breathe, because I'm not breathing. okay, who am I? Say my name again, and then, ask spirit to put the spirit back in my body and start all over and be like, okay, stop. What are you doing? Why are you hyper focusing on healing? And then I calm down, and then I go, and then okay, so why are they here? I'm not seeing. And then I say, okay, spirit, help me heal. Let me see it. And then I'm like, wait, did I ask for this? Or
see, she's doing her best to get in her spiritual space as her human programs are kicking in, but just do this. Oh my God, I can feel it. It's less than love. Hold on. I'm just going to, even if she doesn't know the point, she can do this. She needs to zero in and with her spirit of how her physical body is. So I had this person come to me and they're like, oh my God, I can't have this because the government said this and this and that. Oh my God, I just want to scream because they couldn't, they couldn't control it. And they're like, I'm angry. And I said, actually, you're not. I said, you are shutting down emotionally. And I said, is that what she's doing? They go, no, it's part of her conditioning. We're going to look at this. So they sat there and I said, just hold the point and sit on how I need to shut this down. And as soon as they did, the body sensation shifted and they're like clarity. And they're like, oh. And so the program wasn't in charge. So I'm going to look for that particular sensation. So the next time she goes, she's less in love. She says, there's a sensation. She doesn't have to ask any other question. I can feel it. Oh, shit. Just measure the sensation. That's all you need to begin to do. Because once you tell the body, nope, you don't have to cancel, clear, delete. You can just stop and do that. You're going to say something?
The other day when I was at work and I got overwhelmed, I went outside and I stood by a tree and I was just like, okay, breathe. Then I was like, okay, who am I? What is my name? What am I doing? Why don't I have my hand on my head?
See, that's always an interesting thing because we've gotten to the program so much and we're so trained at not knowing how to handle it. We don't know how to handle it. So every time I have issues with my computers, I teach you guys how to handle it because I'm also teaching myself that, see, I've already got this. I'm that good. It's not modesty. It is going to tap into how I already know that I don't have to do those programs that I used to do. Okay. So they're telling me that, like, for instance, when you go and start to have it, you're going to have to kick before you can get to, notice it's a sensation, and it depends, even if it's way after the fact. But if you can, as soon as you can catch it, just think to yourself, brain, we can do this. Okay. And the brain is just waiting for you to give it input. Now I'm looking at source point. And I'm looking at if you were to go like right now to your liver point on your right side, that is completely locked. So use your magnet on this point here and then rub on the right side. And I'm watching your body going, but I have to be this program. So what the magnet's going to do is it's going to help change the electromagnetic because emotions are magnetic. So she has to constantly be bringing these emotional shit shows in. So we're going to help her body to say her inner world creates her outer world. No. So now when she gets the magnet, she gets it cleared off and then she rubs it. So next time, and as she's doing this, I said, is there any other? And I said, yes. And you're going to need to do the gallbladder too. So come out to the right side and right in front from your pinky toe, find the squishy point, and I'll do that one. Okay, so now I'm watching. So what we're going to do is we're preventing from the next time it happens. We're going to help the body to say, do you need to? So we're disrupting the strategy. So the next time it comes up, her body's going to go, oh, and then she's going to go, hey, wait a minute, I don't have to do that. Okay, now she can take the next step. Now, what she needs to include is that because she's gone to obsession and her body's doing that, she needs to stop it from the liver standpoint. So the next time this begins to happen, if your combination of that's behind which meridians cause this, which meridians cause it. So when you're asking in that question, it is liver and gallbladder. So that's the wood element. So if you can, the 2 points that you've rubbed, you shouldn't have to use a magnet on it. But if you just can go run to the bathroom, run outside, and just stop, drop, and just start rubbing those points. You can do both sides. It's not going to be a big deal. Right side, yes, definitely. But what happens is that she's source pointing it. It's a fast aid that's just going to go, whoosh, and then her brain, now, like right now, you should start feeling how the signals are not, because she's created a new pathway, just like when somebody has a stroke and they create a new pathway to know how to do something they couldn't do. She had created a pathway because she felt like she couldn't do this. So her body has not I don't want to say an unhealthy pathway, but it is a pathway nonetheless. So she can rub those 2 points. Now, your biggest thing is the temptation to want to go there. The more you heal out the sensation, so you are going to make sure, because it has to do with lack of power, you're going to be holding L2D. And you're going to discover and say, thank you, Spirit. Show me when I'm lack of power and how the body creates sensation. So then you're going to go, oh my God. So Spirit's going to come in. She's going to stand there and going, oh, lack of power. And your body's going to go, oh my God, yeah, I hear too much. She's going to go down to L2D, that left wrist, second position. She's going to sit there and she's going to hold it. And she's going to create this circuit that's going to communicate with innate intelligence. And she's going to literally take the key out of the cell so that her body goes, oh. No, she needs to retrain her program and she has to create a new pathway. But as soon as she takes the vibration, the sensation off, the body can start creating in a scalar sense, meaning it'll create a new inner world, a new outer world, and she'll line up to a new way of being. And as soon as she starts to catch it, now again, she doesn't have to be hypervigilant and ask all those questions. Oh my God, I can feel this sensation. So that's going to be her new word. It's not good. I may not know what's going on, but I'm just going to, I know that sensation. So she's going to stare that mofo down. Yeah, it's right there. Like you're literally going in and you can feel it being in your shoulder or something. You're like, I'm going to stare it down. So she's going to be able to stare it down, hold, and it's going to start to vibrate out. But she's got to give herself time, 2 to 5 minutes. What's up?
Question.
Yes.
So most of the time at work, because I'm the cashier, and so if I feel this, and I got a line of people, hi, how are you today?
Take your foot on top of your other foot. You know where the point is, and you literally can do it because I've done it. And I will also engage my heart. So my heart does not have to go into that. So you can, so if you're stepping on that foot and you're just rubbing the foot and you're like, oh, yeah, my foot itches, whatever. You can even sneakily get to your gallbladder point too. We're amazing. We'll contort just so we can get certain points. But at the same time, when nobody's around and you got to break for a second, you can just quickly grab, put it up here. Nobody's going to know what you're doing. And she's pushing in. Okay. And she's helping her body saying, I'm having a live experience and I'm going to engage in this live experience by helping my body say it doesn't have to react, communicate, receive, send. It's like taking a breath. Okay. So
yes, a few times when I've been in there, I've been like, stop, I get to choose and I don't choose this.
Right. And the thing is the body's going, what's she talking about? She's got the GPS set that it's going to override what she ever says. So she needs to take the body to help the body to disrupt. And so then it's like, oh, new program. Hold on. Body says, okay, hold on. And then this is how you start to become more of a spiritual human because you get to be in charge of those programs. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yes.
Now.
And it's my birthday there.
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday. Yes.
Right. So in the USA, my birthday is in the morning.
So you get to explore all you want. That's right. I always forget and I send out happy birthdays way too soon. But that to me is worth it because you taught me that why not have a birthday month? Why not enjoy your month? And it's like, yeah.
Yes. And when we're a little kid, we're always excited about our birthday.
Yeah.
And then when it's like you get past 30 and everyone's like, oh, I'm getting old. I'm like canceling that. Mm-hmm. I'm actually excited because I will be 55.
Yay! And that's such a magical number because I just turned 55.
It is.
Our birthdays are so close together. But yeah, and so I rely on her to remember all the people that we have in our group and stuff that are that are having the birthdays around the same time. And so we get on the joy train. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can keep up. But it does. And I love the number 5. So for me, this feels like a magical year for me.
I think there's about 10 of us within a month and a half like together that's coming up.
I think that's hilarious. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
But again, happy birthday. And I'm glad
you
you chose today to do it. And go take care of yourself. Remember, all about sensation. Don't have to question anything. Just find it, stare at it. Because she's not looking outside herself. She's actually looking inside, using her awareness, going, oh, it's in my butt cheek, or it's in my shoulder, or it's, and staring it down, using the tool will cause her to really feel, I got this. Because that number and the clarity and everything will change, because she's measuring it and she's measuring it and measuring it. And when it's down to 0, she's going to start creating peace. And I know she can do it because I watched her do it before, and I know she can do it again. And so I love hearing the report. All right, my love. Happy birthday, and enjoy your tomorrow. You're not working, are you?
Nope. I got the next 3 days off.
Yeah. Now you got a 3-day weekend like I created for myself. It's like we stretched it out. I'm like, yes, I'll take that. All right. We'll talk to you later, hon. Bye.
Bye.
So hopefully you learned a lot from that. Now, I'm going to have to take a small little break till something's grabbed my attention, and I need to do this. So I will be back in just a moment or two. Okay, so I'll be back. Hang in there. I'll be right back. Okay. Thank you all for waiting. And thank you for waiting. Okay. Hopefully no more interruptions. We should be good. Ooh. So, did you learn anything from her? Were you able to hear, like, this is her life, this is what's going on? Because if you learn to listen with gems, you learn to listen with spirit, you will go, oh my God. And you can start applying things for your life. Together, we can take and make a difference. So, well, let's see here. Let me open up my thingy-majiggy here. And we have Kelly. I don't know where you're. Well, is there a Kelly in the room? They paid for a reading. I got to find them. Kelly, I don't know how to say your last name. It starts with a W, but I'm not sure where you're showing up in which room. And I'd like to give you a reading because you paid. That's an expedite. And expedites, people that have expedites and pay, they get their name also in a drawing for a chance to win a 30-minute session with me off the air. And she just makes it in before the 1st of August. So that's a good thing. I got to first find her because she's paid. So a Kelly, its last name starts with a W. And it's never usually the same as you show up on my platform. So just waiting for, also, since you've paid, go to my webpage if you haven't done it already. Nope, that's not her. Let's see if we can find her here. I don't. Oh. Nope, that's not the same person. Okay, so go to so that I can give you the link so we can communicate. Whether you want to do it in this room like this, you let me know. If you want to do it on my show, you don't have to have video. You can just have audio. If you'd like to do this, you have to let me know. But one way or the other, we got to find a way to communicate. So you can communicate with me by going to my fan page and messaging me. So just messaging me. I got to find you. Where are you? I am doing good. I am really doing good. I wake up awesome. I do these particular healings. So I'm looking for a Kelly. Oh, hopefully they're still here or they stepped out. Okay, keep an eye out. Judy, write in there, say we're looking for a Kelly that paid for a reading. Just kind of put that in there. So if somebody who's reading this, they may end up, but yeah, you actually found a Kelly. See, it's not even close to the same last name. So could be the same person. Just looking again. Okay, I didn't miss it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, while I'm waiting, we got to find Kelly because Kelly paid. Kelly is paid, and I want to honor that. And if not, we'll find a way because I just, they want a reading. I will find it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing the 1 minutes until we find Kelly. Kelly, where is Kelly? Yeah, I'm not seeing it in other formats. Okay, Miss Lena. Lena, there's an OMG because you said something about your face hurting. There's an OMG. Something really disturbed you when you were about 26 years old, and there were some invading energies that was very lofty. So somebody was very mean, and I feel like it was coming at you energetically, and they wanted your attention. So your body, now whether you were hit physically or any of this, but what I'm getting is that the body is saying, oh my God, I don't like to be manipulated. And you kind of feel like a little insecure. So whatever you're going on in your life right now, does anything sound like that? Because what we can do is you hold L2D, left wrist, second position D. Okay. And then after you heal that out, so what are you healing there? It's like, oh my gosh, the OMG, that's what you're focusing on. And then to help you so that your body can release it. And they said, go to the right and you go to follow the two toes up into the two bones until they meet, fall into a hole. Use your magnet on that and then push it and rub. Okay, really important that you do this so that the energy can start to move again because it had stopped flowing properly. And that's for Lena, Miss Lena. And the reason why I only give them last names is because they're here a lot. And I haven't really met another Lena. So we're going to take the wheel. Again, looking for Kelly W. that sent it through PayPal. I'm not sure. Unless you cancel it, I better check. Spirit says check again. I don't see any cancellations, so yeah, it says reading. Okay, I will wait. Maybe she'll pop back into the room. So we'll keep our eyes and ears out for that. And then I'm going to go into the wheel, get the wheel up. And I love the wheel. So we're going to find out who has. So let me make sure I got everybody on the thing. We had the first wheel. We know we got Crystal, we got Amy, we got Thor, we got Rose. Was there anybody else that had put their name in for the wheel? Just double checking. So we have, like I said, Crystal and Rose and Thor. And okay. All right. So now let me get the thing up. And this is how it works. So we do like maybe 2 per show, depending on how long the show is. But you're always more than welcome to give coins at any time, or you can come on and pay for a reading. So let me get the screen up. Let me hit share. Hopefully everybody can see that. And here we go. Oop, that's too low. Crystal. That's awesome. So Crystal has won. So now we are going to get Crystal a link if she is ready. Still didn't find, did we find her? Yeah, that's the name. I can't find her. Before I send the link, I see somebody that's new. And so Crystal, give me a minute. I'll send you the link. And Sabrina, you don't get 1, you get 2 because you're new. If we can find a Kelly, and that's the last name, I can't say it. That's what's been paid through PayPal. Don't think I can. Well, if she doesn't come on during the show, then I'll email her, and then we'll just have to do it privately. Now, I do not like to do those privately if this is an on the air show. But if I get to the point where we can't do it on the show, then that's what will happen. Okay, so I'm going to take Sabrina real quick. Like I said, if there's anybody new in the room that I haven't read you before, then I have no problem with that. All right. So Sabrina, I'm seeing there is something I can't. I can't behave. I can't be. I can't do. But it's like I can't. And it's like you're obsessing about it. So it's like, well, I really wanted to do this, but I can't. I can't. Oh, and how annoying it is that I can't. And you're losing a lot of power to this. Does this make sense? And then you get over and you're like, but I can't figure out why. I can't figure out why I can't do what I want to do. I can't figure out why. And I said, well, what do you want me to do? And they said, tell her there's a hidden story. So they said around 8 years old, you had an experience, you emotionally suppressed it as a way to overcome, handle, deal. And I said, well, was there a particular emotion? They said, yeah, 2 particular emotions was being scorned and feeling helpless. Does this make any sense to you, Sabrina? And I'm like, oh. And they said, well, you kind of didn't know what to do with those feelings, so you sent them down. And it had to do with, and again, I can't behave. So somebody must have scorned you, corrected you to the point you put a self-imposed limitation. Yes, it makes sense. Okay, so now you got that. And as long as you can measure the feeling, it's something about being controlled. And you're like, but I don't want to be controlled. And that creates a whole story as you get older. Is that I want you to understand this isn't just about getting a reading. It's those energies and it's how you know. And I want you to take your left wrist. You're going to find that second position. And what you're going to do is you're going to place your thumb in that second position. Okay. So let me get it lined up. See, and that's 2 fingers down. You're going to put your thumb there nice and soft, not deep, nice and soft. Finger in the hand, create the letter C, and then these 3, safety, security, stability. Place your palm, forehead, fingers, drop. Sit there and measure. Oh, I know that sensation. Now keep your hand there. Just because I take my hand down doesn't mean take your hand down. Sit there. You're going to make the circuit so the innate intelligence heals out the sensation of how you know that. And look at how you feel scorned. Look at how you felt helpless. Okay. And why do those? Now, see, those would be in another point, but they said it's all has to do with this. The fear of being controlled. There's something else there because my voice is like I'm losing my voice. And it's we need to get your power back from that age, from that story, so that your energy can come back in your body and support you to create a new personality, so you can create a new reality. Okay, so measure it. Oh God, yeah, it's a 10. Oh my God, I can feel it in my body. Hold, stay there. Write it down, topic, and just sit there. And what happens after 2 to 5 minutes, your brain and you are going to start getting clarity. The emotions are going to calm down. You're going to take the key out of the cell. You're going to start feeling calmer. You're going to start feeling lighter. So you're worth it. Go heal. Okay. Oh, thank you for the stars. Like I said, anything under 100, that tells me that you want to donate. Anything above 100, you want to donate. If you want to send 100, then we can put your name into a drawing. But if you want to give back just because you're getting something out of this, I appreciate it. So that's about energy exchange. Okay. Now I'm going to go over to Crystal. And as soon as I find where she's hidden it, that'd be awesome. Thank you. You're so much. You're spot on. Good. Now go heal that out. And I want you to witness. Oh, it left. It's gone. It feels awesome. Because you don't need to have that there. You understand? You don't have to have that in your body, in your space. You don't have to have that program operate you. Okay, you don't have to be a prisoner of it. You start to break it down and you're like, oh my God, to have that control is awesome. All right. So we're going to take the winner, and she'll be on in just a moment. That's if I find the right screen. Oh, this one. Heal. Wait until you feel it. You're going to go, where did it go? But witness after, because your ego will go, oh yeah, it didn't happen. Then you're going to go back into your old shit shows, create a habit, and then you're going to, oh, it didn't work. But get ahead of it. You can do it. So I noticed that my body, because I was in the kitchen and powder, vegetable powder went all over. And I basically inhaled. Yeah, don't snort. If stuff was in the air, and the next thing I know, I'm like busy trying to take care of the mess I just made, and I didn't blow my nose in any of this. And then later on, I felt it started filling up. My body was attacking it, going, it's not supposed to be coming that way. It's hilarious. Oh shoot. You're going to have to wait until I'm done with this the paid reading. Can you hold off? What is it, Lucas? Renetta Lucas, if you can hold off, I will give you 2 minutes because you're brand new, and we will give you a reading. I promise. You just gotta have to hang around, okay? And as soon as I'm done with reading, say I'm here, and I will give you this reading, okay? And Spirit really wants to help out. And because this is about you evolving, it's about you becoming happy, it's about you having this joy back in your life. It's getting you out of hell. All right, tune in. And so it'd be about 10 minutes or so. And then as soon as I'm done, just let me know. Now, if there's a Kelly in the room, please, Kelly, you paid for a reading. We need to find you wherever you're at. We have to find a Kelly. And if not, I will take care of it later. I just don't take money, unless you give it as a gift and you let me know. But I wonder where they went. So hopefully everything's good with them. And she's here. It's just it's not registering coming in. Wonder why. Could be bad leg. It could be anything. So I just don't want to start a reading and then she finally fits in. So are you getting anything out of this? This is about you and growth, self-empowerment. It's about you taking the power back into your life and being able to have the safety, security, stability, sanity, serenity, and space, which is freedom. And when you begin to heal the inner world, your outer world becomes this amazing thing. Leg has been horrible lately. Okay, then chances are it could be that. Because she's, according to this, she's still here. It's still trying to join. I mean, it's literally not joining. Could be the phone. It could be anything. But we're just gonna, say thank you, Spirit, for helping for the alignment, because I know that she's been on before and it's worked. So we just have to make sure it works this time. She'll probably have to get on her other account Yep, there she goes. Okay, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Oh. So Spirit says, hey, Vernetta Lucas, I'm just going to take and start working with you. They're telling me that there's a part of you that wants to work on a romance, some type of the way to love. And I said, love of the heart or love on the outside? And so I'm looking at this, and they said, I feel very defensive in certain relationships of the past. I feel very helplessness or hopelessness sometimes, even when I'm in a space where people is with love. Does this make sense? Then there's this feeling of Lucas. It has to do with the way the heaviness that So are you with somebody or not with somebody is my question, because I feel this heaviness. It's lofty, and it's like, what is this lofty? And it says that, okay, you're with somebody, and I feel like, do you lose yourself and you have a hard time doing the expanded importance of self? Because this loftiness, it's very strong. And somehow it affects your sacral part of your body, which is your tailbone area. And there's a condition that you're supposed to be in. And it has to do, again, with the way somebody's asking you to behave without realizing it. Are you aware of this? This is how you coped with life. And when you started to cope with life, it became a habit. So you attracted this person in when you were around 6 years old, because that's the spirit. That's what happened at the time, the program. And this is how others are supposed to, where are we going? So this program, the person you're with, I'm having health issues. Yes. And it's what the environment you have right now about how you are losing your power to this, because I'm literally seeing how guilt and shame had controlled your world for such a long time when you're little, that it is actually affecting you as the adult. Does this make sense? Guilt and shame, you may not even be aware of it, but your body knows this is what it is. And I feel like they call you stubborn so they can control you, not because you're stubborn so you don't get out of your way to feel better. It's just they're pissed because they can't control it. Okay. All right. So what I want you to do is that, if that makes sense to you, I want you to take your right wrist. And in this case, I want you to feel the sensation, feel the truth, feel how you know it, feel all that sensation. Take your left wrist or right wrist and go down to the third position, because your body's in self-preservation. You're going to push in with your thumb and then finger here, make the letter C. Put these 3 fingers in the back, place your hand on your head like this, and sit there. Measure it out, heal it out, get it gone. Hello, Crystal. We did it.
Oh,
Yep, I can hear you. Okay, so let me put this in and let's start talking. Let's see. So there's a lot of noise going on in the background, and let's see if we can just tune that out. Okay. All right. There's a certain amount of accused energy. So people are accusing. So do you understand the word accused? So it's a blaming.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm watching all this energy, and it seems to be affecting you on a physical level. And there's a part of you that just feels like you get tired of feeling this. It's like, so I'm going back to a learned helplessness stage. They said when you were about 13 was a really big point. They said another time when you were 26, there was all of this things that were out of balance. So did you have relationships with people where they accused you of things and you got hurt?
Yeah.
No? Yes?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, my first one.
Oh.
The first one tested. Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking at the beginning of the conditioning of this. So I'm looking, and this is where anxiety began to get trapped. So you've healed enough now. You're going back to that beginning of where the anxiety was. You felt their disdain, their anger, their hate, their contempt so deeply. It's like when my sister screamed and that shrill went through my body, you felt their contempt just go through your body, and your body created an anxiety from that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what you want to heal out, is that sensation. So you when we look at it being accused, you kind of can begin to feel it. Yes? Okay, so you kind of also, all right. So what I want you to do is I want you to feel and measure that right now. Like you can't, you're encroaching upon other people's territory right now. It's like you can feel how, no, I'm taking charge. This is what I'm doing. But other people are going, oh, Crystal, Ma, Grandma, and you're trying to have your space. Do you understand?
I close my door.
That's fine. Take your left wrist and find that second position for me and put your thumbs nice and soft. Okay. I want you to hold this position and I want you to feel the cues. You're taking away my joy. You're causing this. You know what I mean? So can you get into that feeling state of the accusations? Can you feel that anxiety of how they don't like how you're choosing to do what you want to do? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What number is it?
It's pretty hot right now.
All right. So just sit there. Look at how you know. Feel the sensations in your body. And notice how you have all the power. Notice how they have all the power. And as you do that, you sit there. Now I'm going to answer somebody here. Even if you're not in a relationship right now, your body still believes it is. And that's the same for her. It's the same for you, Lucas, because it doesn't matter whether it's a live experience like right now that she's going through, Crystal's going through this live experience, but your body has no different idea about time the way we see it. The body just sees it as it's happening. So that's what we're tapping in for Crystal, and that's what you're going to be tapping in for you. If you know this story, don't let your ego go, well, it can't be true, or because I don't have a relation. Just go, oh, at some point, we're going back to when she's 13 years old, and she's not 13. She's older than that, but her body knows, and she is using the tool to help her use this live experience right now to tap into what happened at 13. Because at 13, she didn't know how to cope, handle, and deal with the aggressive, lofty, shitty energy. There, see, now there she goes, because she can feel their contempt. She can feel them accusing. There she goes. Just keep holding. And what she's doing is what I asked you to do, Lucas, and that is to hold a position. Oh, see, now I'm watching Crystal look at it. Really feel and stare at that deepness there, that accusing, that scorn, that contempt. This live experience from the other room, you can kind of feel how ill it is, right? Yeah, there it is. There it is. Now, Crystal, I want you to deeply look at it. And then I want you to take your eyes to the upper left. And I want you to look at it there. And when you look in the upper left, is there a number? High number, it's yucky.
No.
Good. Now we're going to take and look to the lower right. And you tell me if that feeling is in there.
A little bit there.
Oh, that's where we're going to look. Now look at it. See, we have it stuffed and stored. She's had a lot of years where she's done her best to overcome and self-preservation of all the shit that she's had to go through just to be happy where she is today. So we're just going to dig in and let the body heal out where it's stored so she can get her power back. Oh, remove, transcend, and let go. Take your eyes and look to the upper right. Upper right. And I want you to start constructing. Oh, this is how I remember. This is what it looks like. Remember, just have to use your eyes. You can keep your head straight if you want, darling. Keep your arms on the table if you want to rest them. Keep them nice and there you go. As you take your eyes to look into the upper right, notice, I remember this happened. And notice how you feel a little bit controlled because you have to recreate it to protect yourself. This is where you're like, I'm never going to forget this. So I'm going to hold on to this fear, this anger, this bat thing. And I'm going to, protect myself. But it didn't. It just kept drawing more shit into her world. Remove, transcend, and let go. Look down to the lower right again. As you look down to the lower right, is that number the same?
No, it's down.
Good job. You're doing the healing. Again, look at it again. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take and move your eyes to looking at your left ear. You're going to take your eyes and just look to the left ear. And I want you to hear and measure that again. That contempt, all of that. What is all that? And what number is it? Do you have any?
No.
Good. See, she's cleaned it out, but she didn't clean it out she's cleaned out the roots from the actual experience, but she didn't clean it out of the construction phase. So now this is a part where she's always putting in her future. So now remove, transcend, and let go, and look to the right ear. Look to the right ear. My body just wanted to take a deep breath because it's like it's been holding its breath. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And you can feel the conflict. Do you hear anything out of that right ear?
No.
Remove, transcend, and let go. Look down to the lower right. And is there any number left? Okay.
No.
Now take your hand down and talk to me just for a moment. Do you feel like, because you started off, you said that you could feel it. You knew what I was talking about. It was strong sensation. And what is it now?
I feel nothing now.
Exactly. Good. Now, what I want you to do, because I want you to think of something funny just for a moment. Think of something funny. A fart, somebody falling, somebody doing something stupid. See, now I want you to put your finger in your forehead and in your belly button, push in and lift up. And you're going to connect to your central nervous system. And I want you to smile, and I want you to think of that funny thing. And I want you to realize that you can put love in your space. I feel the freedom from that shit you just had. Oh my God. And allow the joy and the giggles to come in, because that is what you're rightfully hardwired for. Ooh, there she goes. Now she's also creating the energy to be around her and more safe. All right, you can take your hand down and tell me, are you feeling better?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
I feel better.
And it can be that simple of words. So she's going to take some pictures in her mind. Yeah, I know what feeling better feels like. So next time she feels like a shit show, she's like, no, I want to feel better. So now she's going to go back and say, hand on head. If I can't do anything else, I'm going to do that. So thank you so much for winning and coming in and playing with me. And I appreciate you helping all the rest of the people see what, how things can shift. So good job.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love you.
All right, bye.
Love you.
Love you too. So you have a chance to become something more than just your shit shows and your pain. This is why I come on. I come on to educate. I come on to advertise. I come on to hopefully feed my family. I come on, and this is like, but at the same time, I want you to know you can heal yourself. I want you to be empowered. I want you, you're worth it. Again, have we found that, Kelly? I don't know if we have. I don't see her here. I'm going to I was hoping she'd message me. I'm going to check in my emails again. I don't see anything there. So if you're giving coins 50 or, whatever it is under 100, then that's a gift. Anything above 100 is a gift. If you're going to want to be in the next round, you can start taking and putting another 100 coins. That's the $1 to help give back, or to get your name into the drawing. We're doing this, form of energy exchange. How can we do it? And this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to go to the 1 minute in a second or two. We have Lucci that's in, and we have, I think, one other person. So if you want a chance to get in to do what Crystal just did, Put your name, give me 100 stars, send 100 stars, and you will be able to do just that. Okay. So that is all good. You sent something earlier. Okay, let me look. Yes, I did see you send that earlier. Yes, I did see that. Yeah, so we have Amy and Lucci. Hi, Lucci. How you doing? Let me get into this space I'm into. Something is telling me, oh, we have Nita. So we got 3 people. Oh. I wish there was some way I can get a crystal. Yeah, you can play as many times as you want. We'll see how spirit is. Okay, so man, I don't even have a email. Good Lord. This is going to be definitely an interesting game to play. You know what? Yes, it is. It is Kelly. That was Kelly. It was that Kelly. I need to find if I can get her. If I go to her view her profile, I'm going to message her and say, if it'll work. Come on. Okay. Thank you, Spirit, for making that possible. Now I'll see if she sees it. That's the only thing. It's important if they could. Yep. Spirit is determined to make sure this is balanced. So that's good. All right. Let's get to the 1 minutes. Let me get over to here. There we go. So we're going to look, and we got Nancy Burke. And how can you give out? How can you give back? Because usually when you go, you share your name doing drawings, you give back. Giving stars, bringing a friend, expedites, and mentioning Medicine Woman Solution can get your name in a drawing. I already know who's won for August because I think there's only one person that mentioned Medicine Woman Solution at least 30 times. I'd be surprised if somebody else can top that. But, what are we doing here? Okay, so Miss Nancy Burke. What do we have? What we have here is there's a certain amount of tattling. You, them. Oh, so the ego is calling somebody out. So it's like they're going, And what you're beginning to notice is there's a lot of sorrow in talking, a lot of sorrow in, so you kind of dropped in more of a negative sense. And then it causes you to look over and over again. Well, I can't stop thinking about it. And so you expected them to be there for you. So I want you to just start doing R2D because I'm going to tell you what this is because you're like, no, I don't want to go through this. So right wrist, second position, D. So what happens is that this, Nancy, I want you to get this and I'm going to share it to the rest of the story. So Nancy Burke, R2D. When I got my divorce, my children was around that environment. And so they took and was persuaded by those things. And so my kids thought, well, you're dead. We can't talk to you. And I'm like, I'm not dead. I'm just over on the other side of the world. They really had believed that, well, I've got to treat you like you're dead. What? No. And so my body, and so I would hear my kid speak using his language. And I'm like, and my ego wanted to come out. And I had to heal out that I expected them to be there for me. But I had to experience this feeling that they weren't. And this is where it was important for me not to lose power or to believe in it and then create that timeline. So when I started to do like R2D and I started to notice that I'm like having a conversation with people, oh, my kids did this. I'm like, oh, shit. No. So I started to do this and I started to heal it out. And I shifted the timeline that within a day or two, my kids were back to being and talking to me. If I had followed that through, I probably wouldn't be talking to them today, if that makes any sense. But you get to shift your timeline about what you really want to experience and how you want to experience it. So if I would have went down that road, I could have totally stayed there for a long time. But you don't have to. You can actually switch this. Okay, so we're collecting 100 stars. 100 stars get your names in a drawing. So if you want to play, send 100 stars. But if you just want to donate, send anything less or over 100. And that means that you don't want to play. You just want to give stars. So I appreciate that. So we're going to move on to Amanda Gibbs. And so Amanda is looking at, I wonder what I repressed. Because it's like you're inquisiting about repressed. And my whole body is like certain meridians are going backwards. And it's about loss of power. And how I don't want to lose power. I don't want to lose power. There's a compulsion. I don't want to lose power. And my body is feeling this overbearing nature that it's got to stay in this state of like that. And they're saying they want you to get, they want you to do L2D, because if you can just look at that and go, that's an OMG or all to itself, left wrist, second position, sit there and hold it. Sit there and hold it and allow yourself to measure that, because you got a compulsion. Understand the word compulsion. I don't want to lose being in charge, or I got to control the situation because I know that this anxiety is bad. What if I have more anxiety? It could be worse. It could be worse. I don't want that. I don't want that. And that's what I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on that. Awesome. We have a pay it forward. This is awesome. So we'll do the drawing in just a second, and then we'll do a pay it forward. So what does that mean to you? That means we're going to play a game in a minute. So once we get done with this game, we're going to put a pay it forward in place. Thank you, Lucci. What does she do? She says, I'm going to give back. I'm going to give this money, and we're going to pay that forward. One, I get gift. Two, the person that spirit chooses gets a gift, and everybody else can get a gift. So this is a beautiful way to make a wave of love come around. And that's beautiful. Thank you so much. So what I want you guys to understand is that we'll give it another 2 minutes for anybody else that wants to be in this drawing for the stars. And then after that, we will play the game of paying it forward. So hang in there is all you have to do. Remember, you don't have to have video, as long as you have audio. I'll send you a link, and then you can come on and we can do these beautiful healings. Okay, so let's go into the next person real quick. Oops, I would if I could find my screen. There we go. So now we're looking at Autumn. Hopefully Autumn's here. So Miss Autumn, there's an awkward space, not feeling an awkward space. So in terms of how you're speaking, there's an awkward space between other people. If you can become more aware when that space is awkward and maybe you want to fill it by talking, they said that is what you want to heal, because this is where all of a sudden, because that energy of, I got to fill it in, that erratic behavior. So your body says, I need to be in charge of this, because when there was that awkward space around 3 months old, the body then is because that empty space was about erratic behaviors. I don't want to experience that erratic behavior again. So then you start filling in the space. So I said, well, where do you want her to hold so her body can start letting this go? And that is L2D. So left wrist, second position, deep, and there was an exertion of power, there was exertion of pain. Your little self said, oh my God. And I said, is this just straightly yours? No, this is like maybe your mom or your dad's or whoever you're with. And so you are mimicking the environment you had. Your body says, I don't want to go through this again. Your love and support to us all is valued. Thank you so much. I deeply take that in, and I feel your love. Thank you. I'm going to absorb that in, because that's the energy you want, is love. It's just beautiful. Thank you. Beautiful. Okay. So now the time is up, and then we will have Judy make me a wheel, and then she'll send me that wheel in just a moment. I will take Crystal with a K. Crystal with a K. Notice that there's an egotistical way of responding. And this is what you had to use in order to handle and cope and deal with some shitty ass people out there. Like if you had to do it at work or maybe, whatever it is, but there's this blaming. And I feel like there's just like, oh God, I can get a headache from all this way of being and talking. You don't want to be that character anymore. You don't want to do that anymore is what I feel, Crystal. And so you concede in other people. And so then the accusation is who does what does who. And as you learn to grow out of that, then you may have people come at you going, well, you're doing it. Okay. So then it creates you to be in a downfall of, they said, just focus on just the word accusation and the sensation that it creates and how you have to go into no empathy. And it's the feeling of the sensation of no empathy that they want to address. And so they want you to go into L, left wrist, third position, D. Okay. Okay. So I got 2 more 1 minutes and then we'll play the game. Okay. So Nita, we're showing me space again. My space is habits. My habits is from an engram. So that means something bad happened and everything equals everything. What does it equal? It says it's the arrogance. Now they're asking you to start doing homework of when can you hear arrogance? What does arrogance sound like? Do you do it? Do you hear it? Do you watch it use as manipulation? Do you see how that's an awkward sensation as like a conversation? So they want you to investigate arrogance. When your body begins to feel arrogance, it goes on a guilt trip. There's something to do with, well, aren't you stupid? I knew that. You didn't know that. That's an arrogant statement. And so the body is doing this really strange thing. That's what they want you to connect with. And it's like, I feel the sensation. So right wrist, third position, nice and soft. Get it out. Learn it. Every time you find an arrogant statement, notice if there's a sensation, heal it out. You're going to be tested. Keep healing it out. And then you're going to get nice and strong. I know exactly what you mean. Good. See, there she goes. She's got it. Miss Nikki, I'm looking and I'm watching a certain amount of criticism from people. And your ears are like, ooh, there's one. And that one's done meanly. That one was done as a way to help. That one is done as because they're arrogant. Oh, yeah. I can feel my nerves. So what they want you to do is they want you to do L3D because your body's going, a pending doom. So left wrist, third position, nice and deep. Miss Nikki. Okay. Now we're going to go over to the Angela Stokes. I'll give you 1 minute. Nikki, I have a feeling that you need more of this because I think the time didn't happen, but use even your body, but it's a subtle energy. Pay attention to the subtle energy. And I don't know why, but they're pointing to like the side. You may feel it just on one side. Well, which side are we talking about? Left side. We're talking about this is the relationship. Do you ever notice, Nikki, do you turn? Like, do you turn your body, the right side of your body, to turn to talk to these people? Because why? Because it's about criticism or any of this. That's because it's about protecting yourself. If you were to turn this side, you would be too open until you're like constantly. Now, I feel like you took a hit though, and that's why you learned to do this. And so you're kind of distorting the body a little. So I want you to, when you go to heal, kind of pay attention. Where did you first learn criticism? Is it stuck in the body? So turn your head to see if you can find it. Look for a very particular sensation. And they said this particular sensation happened when you were from others. And it always seems to play out when you're about 5. So you picked up something in the environment. Okay. And real quick, I'll do Lucci. Ms. Lucci, I'm looking at grudges. A little ill will. And you're going to notice within you. And if you can't see it with you, because we want to get all those out, you're going to start noticing in other people. Ill will, when you have a little grudge that they don't do what you want them to do, or ill will about this, notice how the body starts to rev up like an engine. I'm looking at, they didn't do it. And after the fact, and it's even though it's so subtle, But that is what you learned as a child, that you have to broadcast out. It's weird because it's like you got to tell you the ill will to people, and it could be just your background culture, but I also feel like you've turned it inside, and you've kind of, I want to say to them, but I can't, so I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to just, does that make sense, Lucci? Because they're saying, it's like, this is why I don't want to be bold, because as soon as I do it, then this is how they're going to act, blah, 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 blah. Where would you like her to hold? Bladder. So L3S, because you don't know what to do with your will, because that will is invested over there. Good. Nikki's got it. I believe Thor asked, and I'm just going to get this. Thor had asked. So we're looking at something to do with being absent-minded. Absent-minded. And then your pride's in line. Oh, absent-minded. My pride's on line. Look those words up. Get a little bit more of a feel. Google it. What does, absent-minded feel like? They said because you have got to learn how to self-regulate. This is for Thor. You got to learning how to self-regulate. You don't even know that they're an issue. But if you can bring yourself that they're an issue, then you can learn how to self-regulate them. And in order to self-regulate, you'll grab your left wrist, second position, nice and soft. Now, Thor, when you begin to do this, notice that you have enemies. You don't really have enemies, but you look and your filter is, you're an enemy, you're an enemy. I don't believe in this. I hate that. Don't like this. You have too much of your life force out there. And the broadcast then goes out. Yes, L2S. And the broadcast goes out. And I said, well, what do you mean when it goes out? And it goes out. And so then you're meted with another enemy. You're greeted with the animosity. You're greeted with aggression. You're greeted with people are not going to listen to you. So you're going to have to understand this program needs to be nipped in the bud if you want this cooperation. Okay. And so I know I said absent-minded, but there was another emotion. I can't remember what it was. But they're asking you just to learn to self-regulate. Yes, Excellent. Okay. You've got it, hon. You've got it. Left wrist, second position, soft. Okay. We have whoops, my screen jumped. We have the names. Okay. Wait, that's not the one. That's the one I just had. That ain't right. Oh, let's try and get the right one, Brenda. Here we go. That looks about right. Okay, so give me a second. I will get the inline. We'll share the screen. And I like this new wheel. I really like this. Okay, ready? And here it goes. Nita. Yeah. Nita. So that is awesome. That is awesome. So Nita, Spirit is telling you. And she says, Brenda, I'm holding R3S like you said, and I saw a picture of a leaping frog, but it was like it was standing above it all. So I saw it leap top view and not much of the whole body with green and shades of black. Interesting. Looking at the perception, looking at the way the different angle is, that's kind of cool. That is good. That is good. That is good. Now, while we've got again, there's 12 people in the room here. You want to play, you get a chance to. And while I get the link for her, we're going to, Judy, do your thing. Give me the number, but tell what we're going to play so we can have a pay it forward. Okay. So how do you play? Just start shouting out numbers, and between, I think, 0 through whatever she chooses. And as soon as she tells me the number. So if you want a chance, we'll play the game. Okay. And a lot of people out there, got to help you get past your shyness. That's for sure. All right. I'll wait for Judy to take care of that. And because there's a lag that you wouldn't believe. Yeah. See, 1 through 35. 1 through 35. So let's see. Here you go. I hear crickets. That means Come on. Oh, you know what? I kind of need to know the number myself. Where's the number? That doesn't help. Oh, shit. I'm just looking at the numbers. Come on. Remember, 1 through 35. Anything under 35. Where is my screen? Okay. Let me close that, open that. Okay, so let's see where we're at. No. Okay, good. We're good. I didn't miss it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, look at them people playing. Me likey. We've got this. We've got this. Keep going. So that's good. And also this helps get my ratings up as well. When you talk in the room, that help gives back. So this is nice that we can do this. Yeah, people are getting closer. People are getting closer. All right, I'm going to send Nita. Oh, I got to get the right screen now. Get my name. Get this. Go find her. So we could play. And there she is. There. Oh, do we have it yet? Nope. Spirit says you weren't looking. I said, I know. But Judy's watching. Nope, still nothing. Still so close. Yes. Oh my God. Are you serious? Nita got it. You must have some big issues. Nita won. She got a 4. She got a 4. So Nita has won the game. And so that means we're going to be working on some heavy duty stuff. I can feel. Yeah, there's no rule that she couldn't. So Nita won. Good job. The number was 4. So all is good there. My screen just there. I thought my screen completely closed. I don't know what happened there. Yes, here's Nita. Hit that. And we love that, when you get on and if you can have the camera on, that's great. Even if you just have volume, you're giving back in another way. So these pay it forwards, these winning, these things, it is I love how fast that's working. All right. It helps in a great way. It really does. There's some inner crying going on because holy crap, my body just started to. Miss Nita. Hi. Okay. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to begin talking or you, but my teeth hurt, can't make decisions. I have like inner crying because it's like you're waking up and seeing that, holy shit, this is the life I've been living and I don't like it. It's stressful. Now you can talk.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it. It's like a flow of things. I feel like Spirit is starting to make more than one topic surface, and that's fine because I'm starting to be able to soothe myself better. Mm-hmm. But it's still like the nerves. It's like a shit show for the nerves. You know?
It is.
Like today, we are trying to figure out what to do as far as like our home, fixing the siding. We just finished fixing the roof. Our needs fixing, windows, porch, just like little things. And so they gave us a quote, and I was like, man, okay, that's above our budget, but Spirit showed another option. And I'm like, okay, this is more on our price, but I would have to take out a loan. And I know I'll be okay, but I'm still like, I'm scared, like I'm gonna fuck my family over, excuse my language, but that's the fear. And then I'm still seeing the same energetic play between my son and I. And I see it bounce between my teenager, my 5-year-old, and then my husband, and then my dogs, and then my cat.
Yes. So it's interesting because you're like, oh my God, I can handle it, but oh my God, this is so much. And you are beginning to wake up to something that's always been there. But to feel it now as a spiritual being, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's just the superficial part of it. As a spirit,
Okay,
There's
now
more things going on there.
there's some worry. There's some worry that I want to address first. So I'm going to just give you this before we forget. So you're going to write down R2D. I'm afraid I'm going to fuck my family over. Okay. So
Okay.
just put that to the side for right now. But you have some great worry that what if you wake up and they don't evolve with you? I could lose them.
Yeah. I kind of made a comment about that today, how like I've been aware of it, but it's still plastered in my face, the gap.
Okay.
And just the energetic plays and the stubbornness and how I can feel how they feel like I'm just being annoying when I say like I want us all to be on the same team. Like, you know, like if you are expecting me or wanting me to, you know, continue on bettering myself, like I need you guys to do the same thing because you guys just revert back to the same thing and you expect me to not say anything. And when I approach nicely, nothing happens. But then when I come in as the little narcissistic rat, oh, now shit's hitting the fan.
Exactly. So there's several different things going on. Okay. And this is where it'll feel like when she said, oh my God, this is a lot, Spirit. Okay. It's a lot. Now, one angle is that, yes, she has this fear that, oh my God, the decision I make is going to F him over. And that was just like money in the house. That was about subject with money in the house and we could be poor. I mean, so we're looking at how she has fear from an end result, whether she experienced herself or she had grew up where people were poor, or the fear because she watched it on TV, but she's borrowing it to some degree. Okay. Now, if you personally already had that experience where you made a decision and effed them over, then that needs to be healed as well. But it's also belief. Now, you have always been a compatible person. Okay. And they said always. And I said, is that really true? And they said, yes. So you would change yourself by how it's playing out because you grew up with a lot of male energy.
Yes.
And so you had to play it out.
Chameleon. Yeah, I was like a chameleon, just blended in with whatever. And if I had to, like, blend myself into the shadows so I can go away and be unnoticed, like, that's what I did too.
Okay. So you're going to make sure you do L2S for that.
Blend away.
Yeah, blend away. Okay. Now, why would she need to heal that? It's because she's lost power there to help support where she is now. But at 21, she's like, I can't handle this anymore. So the physical body says, I'm going to take a shit show. Then she had to rise, not in a spiritual way, but she then had to police everything. She was put into position. Like, I don't know, what age were you when you had babies or got married?
I'm like, holy shit, because I was 21 when I had my firstborn.
That's what they're saying. Yes, because you can't be a chameleon. You have a completely, totally responsibility. Now you have to police every freaking action, which means you have to shift the brain from what she used to know. And this is where she's going to have to, okay, maybe I have to act like my mom and dad. I have to police every action. And does that make sense?
100% sense, because that's what my last bit spat with my husband was. Like, I'm tired of feeling like your mom. I don't want to treat you like my son, and I don't want to be like your mom, but stop doing things that make me do this.
Okay, so now I want you to learn to heal out your husband, not heal your husband, but you're going to heal your husband in your mind. So you're going to heal out your husband and you're going to do L2D. Okay. And then you're going to have to heal out at the same time as you're healing him out, acting like the way he is and his little erratic behavior and doing whatever it is so that you end up taking care of him. You are going to start to notice, okay, these are all three things that are different, is that you have to think about this. Who policed you? Hold on, that's not the one I want to talk about. Did you see your brothers being mature, or did mama and daddy constantly take care of the brothers?
Mommy constantly took care of the brothers. Daddy was always like, "Como chingas, Cynthia, they're men."
Okay, now see, that's part of a culture. That's part of your program, what you saw as a kid, that your responsibility is that you have to. And there's a part of you that's kind of angry that, hey, just because I was born with a JJ doesn't mean I have to. So then there's this little spitfire that wants to come out. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, 100%.
Now, as you're looking at this, she wants to stay hidden, but she's forced to have to stand out and take care of people. And so she has this hidden anger, but she has this temptation that she wants to hide behind a mask. And the mask has a lot to do with feeling I feel incompatible. So there's this fear, I can't do it. But yet she's forced to make the decision. Do you understand that fear of incompatibility?
Oh my God.
You just saw
So
it.
I think that's what my test was today with work.
Okay.
Because I hate bill pay. I dislike bill pay so much. I dislike servicing it because the system is so complex. But I had no choice today. And this time I wasn't like, I'm not going to do this. And I didn't get overwhelmed. And I didn't think, I'm stupid. I can't even do my job. I was like, no, I got this. And if I got a question, I'm going to ask it.
Good.
And that is what I did. And
Good.
it was like back to back 4 times where I was servicing a bill pay issue. And finally, I was like, I came to the realization, like, oh my God, I totally did not react the way that I normally would have. And I succeeded. I learned. These people are helped. I'm winning. I'm in the mountain. Like,
exactly. Good. Now we have to, like, if you watch the beginning of the show, it screwed up again, but I didn't have to. I'm like, okay, I've got this, man. I know how to do this. So I took the time, and instead of investing my energy of how I don't like it, I took my energy off of how I don't like it. And I took that energy and I applied it to my spiritual self. So being that said, you need to do L2D when it comes to dislike and hate that process. So your energy, you got a certain amount, you got a lot of energy that was stuck there, that still is there. You're learning spiritually. You don't have to react that way. Now we want to take that out. So that dislike also is not just about work. It's about how you have to police, how you have to be the one in charge, kind of a little angry about the past in your culture, all of this. So your attraction factor of picking a man was just like how your brothers were, about the program of your household. But you still can change this.
ew, okay, yeah, definitely.
Okay. But it's how your energy invested says there it is. Now,
Yeah,
fear
that
is
makes
saying,
sense.
fear is telling you, though, that if you get rid of that, then what will happen to them? I don't want to lose the man I love. I don't want to F my family over. But that's just a lie. You don't know that's to be true. It's a fear. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be tight, but I know it can happen. And the way I see it is it's not a bad debt. It's not like something that I'm doing because I was being irresponsible. And I said, let's go to Cabo or
Right.
let me buy this Mercedes. No,
I'm right.
putting value into my home.
Now, I remember when we first, I think, talked, I can't remember how long ago now, but you're like, oh my God, I have so much worry about money. And I have to come up with $700 here, and I have to do this here. And I said, let's heal this. And all of a sudden, you then started paying me because you wanted to take a class.
Yes.
Now,
And Spirit always makes that happen.
it makes you work out. See, now she has this thing where it always works out 100% of the time. Now, if she could get her mind shifted on that instead of on the worry and fear, that strategy she has to do first, she could eliminate that crap and just go in and go, thank you, Spirit.
And that's where I'm trying to go because I know Spirit would not have directed this to me,
Yes.
would not have made me come up with 6 freaking options.
Oh, wow.
Okay, like I have, well, and it helps that I was a banker, so like finances is kind of my theme,
Right.
and so I'm just playing it out to where, okay, I know I'm going to be in this amount of debt, but once we do this and wait X amount of time, we could do a home equity, consolidate, and then bam, one payment, and all of the other debt is cleared.
Good. All right.
It's planned out, but that fear is still there.
Right.
Like it's solid.
See, now that fear, believe it or not, is actually a weapon. So somehow it's connected to L2D because when I look, it's how much energy you invested in what you don't like, because that's the enemy. And like I told you, once you start healing out that there's no enemy, things shift. So,
And you know what?
What?
I do have a memory of my parents arguing about finances.
oh, you do. Yes, I see. I
Yeah,
see a fresh
there's-
one when you were
there's a-
about 1 month old.
I believe that.
And I'm looking about how incompatible they both feel. Now, I'm not reading them, I'm reading her field. And she saw how both of them were completely incompatible, but nobody really wanted to take
Mhm.
responsibility because both of them were afraid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so that's how she knows that. And I said, does she need to heal that out? And they said, yes, she can R2D it because you're supposed to not have peace when you solve things. And she knows is that she's doing the healing, says, yes, I can have peace and resolve things. I don't have to go there. So she's learning a lot. So remember, do that R2D. Because your body is going, no, I can't do this again. And they pointed out that your body started to break down and get sick. So have you ever been sick in your life to the point where it became a chronic thing? And that aggression, your nerves would be like, oh, I always have to be aggressive.
I remember when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to say that it stopped maybe when I was... Oh my gosh. Okay, I just had an epiphany.
Yay.
I used to get sick a lot. And Betty started getting creative between 5, 7 is when she was like there, 9 when she was full blossom. But between 7 and 9 is when I actually stopped getting sick. But I do remember being on amoxicillin so much. Yummy, that bubble gum. And then I also remember breaking out in a weird rash in my vajayjay area.
Ooh.
So yes, I'd say as a child, I was sick a lot more. And then at one point, I didn't need antibiotics anymore. I barely even got a cold, except for, when it was coming. But I mean, yeah.
But you took your power back. You didn't take your power back as much as you took charge and used what power you had to overcome in such a way so you didn't, because you started to adapt to some degree, okay? Yeah. But that point
I
of
think
where
that's when the full male energy was like completely intact.
yes. But it's just prior to that decomposition, the way the body was trying to break down. And they keep telling me over and over that love was used as a weapon in the house, and it hurt like hell, and then you toughened up your skin and said, bitch, please, no. And you learned how to look and manipulate and operate, because that's the only way we could survive. So you're like, and then you chose to, because yang energy is all there is. So it's not about penis, but it's about that male energy, that yang energy, that you have to survive. And again, she grew up in a lot of male energy.
Yeah. 3 brothers.
So that's
only daughter.
Yep. So that's definitely her program. Well, now she's learning to bring in that feminine side of her and give back the responsibility to the people that need it, because they, people began to trust her, turn to her, and made her feel good and important. And now it's just wearing her out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And
it's very exhausting.
Yeah. And it's nice to have all the answers, but your body is like, oh, hell no. I'm done. So they want you to understand that you're going to have to do R3S. You're going to have to begin to notice like too much stress, because your body's like, we don't want this. Or, hey, at work, you got to take, you're like, at home. So we want you to also take and do a source point. So you're going to make sure you tap, rub the TW. Yep. And basically the right side. And once you've done that, flip over to the heart on the right side, because you got to start to catch that little minute, that little that little nuances, that little change where you normally would just skip over and go, but now your spirit is going, we don't want to lose that power. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, no, that makes absolutely 100% sense.
Now I understand why you won.
Yeah, like there's just so much, like spirit really is trying to come to the surface. Like the other day when we were in class, I was seeing the mystic. It was weird. It was like, I want to say I was in the spiritual realm, because that's what I felt.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not been there in so long that even feeling entities around, it was kind of like foreign. So it was kind of like, what is this? Do not press this red button. And I'm like, well, let's press it, you know, like, but I'm still like, so I'm still like hesitant a little bit.
There's a conflict, and it's just these parts that don't really know how to talk. And you go heal out all of the stuff we give you today. And remember to really heal it out to zero so that you can shift your dimensions and your realities. And you're going to just become much stronger. You really will.
Yeah.
You've watched your growth already, and I know you've got this. I'm proud of you. Good job.
I'm proud of me too.
Yay!
And I got to schedule that 45-minute with you.
Okay. Yes, you do. Yes.
Yeah, soon. So like whenever you have availability, because there's still more that need.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm about to pay it forward for all the time, balance this stuff out because I won 2 in a row. So
I think we're going to pay it forward. Is that what I heard? Woohoo. Oh, thank you, darling. Yeah. Thank you so much for the energy exchange. You go heal, and you're going to be healing me and everybody else. We're going to rise together. I love it. All right. We'll talk to you later, hon.
Thank you. I love you so much.
I love you too. Bye. All right, bye. Oh, so that is so awesome. That is so awesome. I love these readings because I can see the depth. I can see all of these things. I want you to begin to see it. And I want you to begin to know that you can have it for yourself. So stick around. If you're here, like if I heard her right, she's going to do a pay it forward. That means we got another game in play. Another game in play. So if you want it, how bad do you want it? Yes. That was great. Thank you so much for the reply. It helps out, Amanda. Thank you so much. Yes, feedback is great. See, how do you know what stood out to you? Knowing that you can heal yourself, knowing you can do certain things. I mean, you're going to hear a lot of these people thank you so much, Amanda. When these people come on and you hear the depths, yes, they've been doing this. Doesn't mean just because you're a starter that you can't begin. You just look there, your catalog of life. Oh, I want that. So then you let your soul get hungry and say, how do I get there? How do I set my GPS for joy? How? And Spirit will show you how. And she did. She has it pay it forward. So we're going to say, hey, everybody, you ready to play again? And we're going to have Judy figure out the number, and she'll let me know, and we'll go from there. And this is so good. Hello. What do we have? Malicious Arts. Hello. Malice Arts. Hello. Okay. Yeah, she's going to be busy healing. Yeah, and see, she's learned that she doesn't just take the information in and she's like, I'll get to it later, and she never does. Spirit knows if you don't do it, young lady, you're not going to keep the promises that you've been doing. And how does your higher self going to trust you if you're going to break your trust with the higher self? Higher self wants to trust you, but you have to show up. And so you're learning to create that relationship with all of your higher selves. And that is super important. It is super important. Need to expect me to ask for progress. Oh, yeah. That is funny. Yes. Okay, so we have 1 through 35. Go. So let's play. Let's find out. I got to go find my number first. It means I got to get the right window up. And I got the number. All right, let's see. Who does Spirit want on the show? So who's going to play? So we got a few people already. Come on. Everybody play that wants to come on. It doesn't matter if you don't have to video. Oh, good. Man is going to play. There's Lucci. Yes. Keep going. Yes. 1 through 35. Anything under 35. 35 and under. So we're going to look and see who wins. So this is my higher self connecting with Nita's higher self. And the Spirit says it's cool. Are we home yet? That's funny. Oh, it's so good to see these numbers. Yes, they're zipping along. That's good. Keep going. Oh, we're starting to get close. Yeah, stop. Lucci. 28 was the answer. Lucci, you just won, babe. Lucci. See? Spirit knew that she was coming. I kind of felt that earlier. And then when it didn't, I was like, oh, well, now I understand. So Lucci, you won. Lucha, you won. That's excellent. That is so excellent. Let me get the. All right. I have to find where the button is. Go over here. I'm going to just send it to you personally because my other screen just went boop. And I'm not going to go look for it. Yes. Okay. So no, have not heard back from Kelly, but we will see. We will see. I'm curious of where, sometimes Spirit gives a progress report. Sometimes it's, wow. Thank you kindly. Yes, Spirit, hey, I get a feeling. That's why I was like, I'm surprised. The more dedicated you are with your soul, the more you're going to just line up to receive what Spirit says. Oh, you're next. Let's do this. Let's get going. Because in a week or so, because after the 7th of all, you want to come to the Lions Gate. That would be great. That's $45. It's to come in. You do the setup. We're going to do a healing first. Probably a good couple hours worth. So we're going to be healing, setting it up, and then doing the meditation so that you can receive. If you're into alien energy, then great. If you're not, don't worry about it. You're into this astral energy of it. You can. Okay. So, right. Somebody's having an anxiety attack. I want you to grab your right wrist, and I want you to sit there and use a magnet across it of your heart. Okay. This person that's having an anxiety attack, just start doing it and then rub. And then I want you to breathe in to the cut. Hold your breath. Feel the energy to your head and then bring the energy to the heart. Refocus. Can you focus? So you just go breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Hold it. Feel a circle above your head. You rub in your heart and then blow it into your heart. And then tell me where you're at, what number you're at. Tell me what number you're at. Because we have healing tools for the mental and emotional. We have healing tools for the fast state to help the brain and getting you out of your negative space, getting yourself into a placebo effect instead of nocebo effect. We're moving you into a state of awareness that's more of your spiritual self and your heart and brain coherence down to a 10. Okay. All right, rub the right heart again. And I want you to tune in, drop, just drop, give yourself a drop. Tune in. I forgot 241, that's right. So drop in your thoughts. And I want you to focus and listen. I want you to listen with your spirit. And I want you to listen. They say, I'm feeling her headache. I feel a lot of these strange things happening. Say, no, thank you, Spirit. Show me what the words are. Show me. Thank you, Spirit. And as she's rubbing, now go over to your liver and use, you don't need to use a magnet. Go to the right side, rub your liver. Got to get the chemical peptides out from the anxiety attack. Rub. Now, she's not pregnant, but if you're pregnant and you're copying, don't touch this point. But go ahead, push in on the right. You don't need a magnet, just rub the large intestine. And then you should start hearing clearer. I just heard, damn, I don't want to be me. Can you see what personality that was? What age that was? Did you hear it? It was certainly loud for me. And then place your hand on your head and do R1D. R1D. Okay, because you felt like you had to overcompensate. You done something wrong. You could feel the energy of somebody being pissed at you. Hello, my love. How are you?
I'm really fine. How are you?
I'm awesome. And I love the joy that's coming off of you. This is excellent. Okay, so we're both getting ready to go on vacation. That's exciting.
I know, right? When do you leave?
We leave on after tribal. So right after tribal, zippity doo dah. I'm going to go and enjoy myself. And just remember, while you're leaving, I'm going to wave to the skies. You're going to be just off a little bit. And then when I get down there, I'm going to wave at your house. because I was hoping to meet her in person.
Yeah, I know. It just worked out really, really.
Yeah, no,
Good.
it's quite all right. It's quite all right. No big deal. No big deal. So before I continue, yes, you can go to YouTube. You can also go to my fan page on Facebook, and you can see all of the videos. So yes, you get to rewatch them again. All right, Spirit says that. Like I said, I was so surprised when you didn't win, but then I saw why Nita had to win, and I'm like, well, this is odd. And then here it is. Okay, so how can I help you?
Whatever spirit wants to
Excellent.
gift me.
So you're getting go on to travel. There is a certain amount of guilt that you have about. It's a process when you travel. Do you feel like you have to have guilt? Okay, so they said that you know what direction that is, and this guilt has a lot to do with. There's a couple of places I'm looking too. Like, for instance, manners and speech. There'd be certain things that you'd be talking. Like if you go down there, that'll be in one area. Or I feel like if you leave Tassie, then there's, I didn't do this right or whatever. And I feel like you don't deserve this vacation, but you know you do. Okay. So they're really pointing out they want you to hold L2S right now. And there's a part of you that gets miffed because there's a part of you that kind of preconceives and thinks, oh, you're mad at me because I did this or something. Or,
Yeah.
Okay. Put that on a scale from 0 to 10.
And 9.
Now, so somebody crying in your space that says, I don't want to go. I don't want to do something. Can you hear that? There's somebody's complaining. Who is it?
No, I don't sense that.
Okay, so let's just let that go because it could be just your younger self. At this point, just feel the guilt. Can you tell me where that's sitting?
Sorry?
Do you know where the guilt is sitting in the body as a sensation?
In the stomach.
Now, it has to do with personal growth of all things. And I'm looking, and I'm like, And they said that there's a lot of exertion of energy. And there's a lot of right and wrongs that I keep seeing.
Yeah, 100% correct.
Now, as we do, my body, hold on. I'm not feeling pain. I'm just, her stomach flipped good. That was good. See, now her brain is like, this is just insane. Her brain is doing its best to process, like, what did I just witness or hear? Here you go. There it goes. It goes to the one I gave you that 1 minute reading too. And there's a part of you that gets in the swell of that's not my intention, and you're being misunderstood. Does that make sense?
Makes sense, yeah.
And then you feel this vulnerable. That's going to where I feel the guilt. So your visceral nerve in your stomach is just going ape. It's going off. So you're doing really good. And if you're not on L2S, let's switch over to L2S. If you're not, I can't remember what I told you, but I want you to feel under pressure. And this is where your head feels it's going to pop, because I feel like you're a little kid and you're around your dad or something. Something's going to pop. Do you understand? So it's under pressure that you have to take the stress on because you're Lucia. You have to take on that stress. Do you understand? And your party is like, I don't want to, but you can't help. And this is where I said, did I say the word arrogance? Like people will talk arrogant before? Did you ever hear me say that? Because there's a heartache. So certain people will talk in a certain way arrogantly because they're like better. Arrogant has this part that says I'm better than you type thing. But then there's this heartache. Oh my God. I showed up that way and they're telling me that was wrong. There's a lot of mass confusion in here right now.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
All right, so I'm going to stay quiet just for a minute so she can do this. And I mean, literally, I'm going to be quiet. I'll be right back. So you just sit there. Just Just sitting there. Okay, so I want you to stop doing that for a moment, and I need you to do this because your body wants to go into like an inflammation and aches and pains by the end of the night, and it hurts. I don't know if you have pain. So look for the spleen 21, and I really want you to get in there. Yes, I'm sorry, don't mean to do that. I need to do it too. So, so I'm just going to get in there and, oh, God.
My girls don't make as much joy as this one.
Oh, man, I get these wiggles and jiggles, and I don't mean to, because sometimes I'll be sitting there like going in town. My husband's going, well, it's a nice show. And I'm like, oh, geez. And it's just me and him. Don't do it in public.
I know, right?
Oh, well. Now, I need you to come up to here. Find that collarbone, drop just into the K27s, and I need you to rub this. Because your spleen is like, oh my God. And these are leftover chemical peptides that affects her health and her immune system. Oh, there, she just flipped. Oh man, you just flipped. What was that? Was that the stomach meridian? Yes, that was backwards. On the right side. Is it correct
I
now?
haven't been sleeping very well the last weeks.
Yeah, this is to do with what we started talking about. Now my ears both pop. That's what we were looking for too. Who has, it could be you, it could be the family. Because again, I feel like the anticipation, somebody has pride issues and your body's like going, no. It literally goes into stress.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when that happens, your visceral comes in. Okay, you can stop doing that. Your visceral comes in and it literally causes this problem here. I'm watching your left go backwards. Your right's trying to hold the ground because you're like, I'm Lucia, I'm a healer. What's going on? Your whole body's going the other way. Okay, so I'm asking spirit. Now we've got that. Is there a prevention? Yes. Go to your right foot. We're going to do a prevention so that your body can start correcting itself. Look for that liver meridian and use a magnet across it and then rub it.
I'll have to use my hands.
Okay. Ooh, and while you're down there on the right, you may as well take the magnet across your bladder too. Just, right there on by the pinky toe and then come to the top of the foot. So she can take her hand and just do two spots at once. And then when she rubs, we can get really creative because I've learned how to rub those both points at the same time. And there's nothing wrong with it. You can do them singly. You can do them together.
Yeah. That little one hurts.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Because what happens is when she's in stress that way, your liver is trying to catch up and cooperate with you. And it's like, oh my God, too much is in the blood. Too much shit's here. Oh my God. And her feet will begin to hurt and her body then becomes stressed. And then her adrenals produce the adrenaline. And she's over here going, I just want a nap. And the body's going, oh my God. Is there anything else we want to do to help prevent this? Okay, so that you've done that part. Is there anything else you want her to do? Okay, so I'm looking in the future. They said they want you to do R1D because you are really going to be putting yourself in the lion's den, meaning you're going to see when you have your self-imposed limitations. You're going to notice when all of a sudden, Lucia's going to go outside and walk. I guess I won't because I can't, or I've got to go do this, or Lucia wants to have a cup of tea. Oh, Lucia's got self-imposed limitations. I feel grace and ease. That's what we're asking for, because when she goes on this vacation, she's going to be exposed to seeing all her old patterns through her new eyes. And in the response of wanting to rack the old way, oh, what do I do? Should I have booked this? But it is.
Every time.
Oh, see, she's got an old program. Now she can measure it. Now notice it's just a sensation. She don't have to believe it. She's just prisoner of it at this point. She's got the key to unlock it. What do I do to myself as I'm here? Oh, okay. So she just takes another minute. And I'm feeling drunk all of a sudden. I don't know why. I'm like, I just feel like I had a couple shots. Oh, I got, in order to handle my family, I need a shot or two. Is that any problem? Oh, so they could drive you to drink. That's what you're trying to say to me. Well, that's sorry.
It's a strange relationship because I love each and every one of them, but there's that old part that gets hooked, and
Yes.
I want to go in with a very clean.
Yes. And there's a part of you that, and another part of you, I got something in my pants. Like I got a bug in there. I don't want to take my pants off in public. So I'm trying to figure out how to get into my pants to see what the hell's in my pants. Not nonchalantly. But the thing is this is how she's going to be. She's like, how do I get this thing out without looking like, she will. She will. She'll get there. And what she's going to be so surprised about until she gets to that experience and she's like, oh my God, I passed a test. And you'll learn to separate the programs and you won't have to feel the absorption because I feel like she's going to have a lot of wonderful surprises once she gets, oh shit, I'm an ego. I'm going to back out of that, connect up, back up to spirit. I'm going to just watch this. And then she'll stop absorbing, stop fulfilling everybody's dream. Lucia's going to respond this way. I just know she is. Oh, she didn't. It's because Lucia's got her own energy. Her tailbones finally stopped quivering. It was like going, oh, I don't have to act that way? No. She's getting there. But she's got quite a few self-imposed limitations, and this is the beauty. Once you catch yourself stopping yourself, you're going to go, but I don't, this is the decision. Do I keep doing it because it feels familiar and I have to? Or can I heal that and take my power back? So she's going to have new eyes going into this arena. People are going to want her to show up the way they only know her. That's fine. She can be totally Lucia, being laid back, being a new spiritual person. They're going to just have her in their world and not know that she's a different. She's going to sit back going, you do not see the new me? Oh, okay. Maybe I don't see the new me. Maybe that's what I have to heal. So she'll be really in a spiritual mode. And here's the trick. When you start to really heal yourself, it's like, how am I supposed to show up? That's what you say to spirit. Help me show up the way I'm supposed to with grace and ease. And sometimes you'll catch yourself being and acting. Like the biggest one was when I would go out to the grocery store. Who is this person that's communicating with these people? That's not me at all. Well, do I need to? Is that a problem? Wait, why am I doing this? Why am I acting stupid? Why am I doing? Well, no. Take my power back from that as well. Oh, see, she's creating another shift in herself. What number are you?
1.
Good. Now, again, notice you are at this precipice, and when this begins to happen, I want you to pay attention to how your body does the conditioning, and then I want you to notice you're going to be at the power of choice. I'm going to have to be my self-limitation or no? Now, the more she gets to heal the sensations, the more she's going to go, ooh, I did not do a self-imposed limitation. Because when you're in a self-imposed limitation, you swear to God, you have no control. You have to do it. And then when you get done healing it at all the layers it's asking, why did I give my power away before? This is easy. She'll stop compromising herself. Yeah. You know how to zip up. Get your giggles. Come on. Let's get her giggles. See? Now she can bring it all the way in down to her toes and the end of her hair. Whee!
Thank you, Brenda. And,
You're welcome.
Thank you, Vita. I really appreciate it.
Exactly. Now, again, before you leave, how do you know you've grown. Instead of just saying, hey, shit, how did you know? How do you know you're not who you were when you got here?
My stomach doesn't feel like it's flipped for a start.
Good.
That level of conversation of dread, you're jumping back into the old program, is not
Excellent.
seen. I was only speaking to a gentleman this morning about the whole dynamics, and so it's really interesting that it came up, because I really when I was talking to him, I could hear that conversation. It was very, very gentle, and it's all on reflecting what I had to learn. But when I finished, you're going to heal this out when you've got the time, girl, like today. You're going to heal this out because you brought it up for a reason. So it gave the witness.
It's a whole different type of being responsible. And when you realize that you have the power and the tools to do that, doesn't it give you a form of being in control of your world and a super strength that you didn't even know you had?
1,000%. Instead of having, runners or littles or whatever,
Yeah.
crossing time or tracks, and
Yeah.
eyes on your own paper, but you just go forward, and
There you go.
everybody else
Very,
is
very
doing
good. Very good. Thank you so much for
Thank you, Brenda.
witnessing, and we will talk to you soon. I love you very much. Okay. And
You
have a
too,
safe
Sarah.
trip. I can tell you that. I just want to make sure I say that now.
Yeah, and you too.
Oh, I will. Thank you, honey. All right. Bye.
Nice.
So it's always important to get your giggles on. It's important to process through. And yes, Autumn, I did. Judy will give you a point in just or a timestamp in just a moment. I will have to make sure that I get with Kelly again. I didn't see a response, so we'll see what happens. I know there's a time difference and all that good stuff. Okay. Did you guys learn something today? Were you able to feel like you can start to have it for yourself? You're going to go through this shit anyway. You may as well grab a tool. You may as well stop tanking yourself. You may as well start taking that power back. And a huge part is when I started to really know that I can use this body as my tool. Wow, it was so different than sitting there on the edge of the couch when my son is sick and thinking he's going to die and being in that worry and that fear. And oh my God, and nothing's, and oh my God, this is why you come to psychics. I need answers. And the biggest answer I can tell you is place your hand on your head. Get that clarity, get that emotional balance. Notice the shit shows you're doing. Notice what you're believing in. I've seen people work and heal themselves, but then they couldn't give up. I loved being disappointed and being bitter because that's how I got you to behave. I'm not giving that up. But if you're not going to give up certain things of an old personality, you're not going to create a new personal reality. You need to resolve so you can evolve. Get your power back. Now she's going to go down to her visit and she's going to be more grace and ease. She's going to be more spiritually more aware of what she can do and how she can do it. She can sit back and be proud of herself because now she gets to see her growth. And it isn't fake growth. It isn't where, oh no, I healed. And then all of a sudden it comes back around and kicks you in the ass and you're like, what? No, you when this comes back around, you'll see it's a different level because you're going to hear the different words. You're going to see the different things. But you're also going to go back and measure against where you were. And you aren't in competition with anybody else. They are your catalog of life. And you go, ooh, they did it. I can do it. Well, they're doing that. Well, that's okay. And respect. I don't want that. But, never thought of that one. You are an amazing people. But did you use a vendetta? Okay, so there's a lot you can do, a lot you can share with yourself and others. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody, so I'm going to go through my things again to make sure and reset this. Oh, now it's caught up on the page. That's good. So I'm probably in about maybe 20 minutes or maybe less. I will. Oh, Yeah. Yes. Angela, I think I got you. Judy, you're going to have to give her timestamp. I thought I did, didn't I? And then Amy, we're going to get you a timestamp yourself. We're going to give you a reading. But anyways, TikTok is a little different. So I kept them separate, and I wanted to keep honoring and respecting my Facebook peeps. This is us. And so if you want to come over and kind of experience a little bit, it's the same, but, a little bit different, then come on over. I feel it's different in some ways. Okay. Ready, Ames? My ears are so much better. Hers popped and mine went, I don't know if hers popped, but well, on my end. So aim. So the panic attack is that you have to run from. I said, what are you running from? They said, limitations. I said, yours? Yes. I said, can you see your limitations? Yes and no. I'm very much conditioned that I have to take action and act a certain way. And I get so confused between the new me and the old me. And I said, really? I said, yeah. So I get kind of irrational inside and I can't hear it. I said, well, what do you want to do? And they said, L2D. And then it's like, as soon as I, so she's got a hidden story. It needs to come to the surface. But if she starts doing L2D, when she starts to feel these strange things, she's going to fine tune and become more sensitive within herself, because the body's like, you're going to have to behave that way. And you're like, I don't want to have to behave that way. She's going to start, she's wrestling with her shadows. She's got 1, and she's wrestling with her inner child, which are 2. The first age of the inner child is at age 2, and the second one is at age 6. Her shadows were both born, but it was first born on the when she was age 2 and had grown at age 6. So when we have fractals that repeat the story of what we just had, that's when the shadow grows. You keep giving that energy to the shadow. Now, the shadow can be these little Frankenstein monsters, or the shadow can be the statue you give life to, because you don't give life to you, so you have to give it to that part of yourself. And I said, can you give me any idea? Because I built false realities. And that started to create your shadows? Yes. And they said, like, you can look at suspicion, and you can look at feeling embarrassed. Again, this doesn't even have to, if I feel this has to do with like mama. Old program is what I'm hearing too. Just to give a little bit more in depth when it comes to the shadow. No, I can't do it again. I can't do it again. So you had enough somewhere along the way. Somewhere. All right. So if you have been watching, you can go to Facebook, go to Medicine Woman Solution. Remember, it's SOULTION. But if you go to YouTube, it's Medicine Woman Solution, SOULTION. Either way, you will see today's show. You'll get to watch it. Facebook has the timestamps. YouTube doesn't. But you can, hi there, Mojo. How are you? I'm about ready to leave, but I'll be coming back. But do you want a reading or anything? I also have Clapper running, so just wanted to let you guys know who I'm talking to. But anyways, I'm going to go take a small break, and then I will be back. Okay, and so so make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you share. How are you? I'm good. Just thought I'd say hi. Well, I appreciate you stepping in. Thank you so much, Mojo. I'm really good. I'm really having a wonderful time. Oh, thank you for the donuts. You know what I could do for one right now? That's what I could do. So I got to make sure I have some fruit, so I can have, the sugar, healthier sugars to some degree. Okay, so I see that Angela Stokes did not see her timestamp. I'm going to give you a quick little thing. Your son is saying that your emotions get the best of you, and you're so afraid to be bold because you're used to somebody overpowering you and taking your power away. And as soon as you're about ready to be bold, you're aware of the attack. They said hold R3D. So you can start recalling, feeling the sensation. So make sure you do right wrist, third position, pushing deep. Okay, Angela? And then go back to 153 so you can see your other timestamp. Yes, and water. I can't remember what we were just saying, but I do know I need some water. Definitely need water. That was it, because my body needs the balance out its sugars. Ah, yes. Got to make sure. You know what's funny is when people drink coffee, they think, "Oh, that's wet." I take no. That's made to dehydrate you. Same for beer. That's made to dehydrate you. Thank you. Good night. But so don't just think because it's wet and you're drinking that it is liquid that's healthy for you. And it's not that it's not healthy for you. It's that it dehydrates you. It's not hydrating. You got to drink something that hydrates. Well, somebody says, well, you got water in coffee. How come? Well, that's called alchemy. So it changes. Okay. So just make sure that when you're drinking, you feel hydrated. So you want to make sure there's a great combination. This is why before they had inner city water, that you had out of town water. And when you would get it from a well, what would happen is it had more minerals in it. And so you were getting the nutrients, and you were getting water that actually hydrated. So just be aware that if you're sitting there going, you're hungry and you're drinking coffee, turn around and just get yourself a nice healthy glass of water, because what will happen is that you're dehydrated. So I'm going to make sure I'm going to go hydrate. I'm going to make sure that my body starts to get nutrients, and we will be back. So remember, resolve to evolve. Hashtag heal instead of deal. Hashtag you can heal that. I can heal that. Hashtag feel it to heal it. And hashtag when in doubt, place your hand on your head and heal it out, because you can. You're worth it. I already see you happy and whole. Let's get you there. Okay, so stay blessed. Stay blessed and happy healing. That's what I've got to say. I just got to remember to shut down all of these medias. Be back. And this time, I'm going to shut this one down.